It was.
Sick.
Okay, we're live now.
Hola. We're playing Star Ocean. And I've never actually played the first one, but I played the second one, and the second one freaking shreds. So
First one, shred more or shred
we'll,
less?
we'll see. I doubt it will shred more. It might shred more.
Hey, Killboy. Let's go.
Yo. Let's get this cutscene going.
Planet Issei confirmed. Departing high-density space at 1203.
Set the coordinates to T50321.
Roger. Putting Issei on screen.
It's funny how,
Something's wrong with the gravitational readings. There's a
like,
giant energy wave
UIs
between
all
Sir
look this like really similar in anime from the 90s. Like,
Oh, yeah.
in science fiction shows. And the captains always had huge beards.
Yes, because they're
Like-
supposed to mimic like
a throwback to like an
ship
ocean captain.
captains. Yeah.
It's like looks almost identical to Xenogears.
One.
Like the opening scene.
What?
That's how they made the Star Ocean, right?
Activate anti-shock.
Oh my gosh.
Defense shield.
Yeah, why don't you get
for
farther
what
away
did
than
this
that
happen?
before you friggin' blast?
I know, geez. not wouldn't be that hard.
SD346.
This is on PSP, Cowboy.
Yeah, we're playing on our good.
Steve Diamond
PSP.
saying we're gonna meet Claude's parents.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Or just the whimsy of fate.
Whimsy of fate.
Whatever it is, the human race continues to advance into the great unknown.
Yeah.
Into what they call the
My guess is
Do they call
this
it
was
that?
not
Do
in
humans call it
the
that?
Super Nintendo version.
That was not
Nope.
Super.
Nope.
It's just my guess.
Oh, lol, I'm funny. Just bought this. Nice.
Ooh,
Pablo, I know.
sweet.
First test fire matches tonight.
Yep,
for Splatoon.
and I probably won't be able to do it.
And then there'll be
maybe
3 tomorrow and then 2 on Sunday.
I only have one controller, so
You do. You could just stand in one place and just friggin' own.
Hey, that's a good thing. It means all's well. What about Millie? What do you really think about her anyway?
Forgot to animate his eyes.
What do you mean? Let me give you a friendly
Is it like
warning.
Brock type
That
character?
girl's a
Yep.
total scatterbrain. She doesn't listen to anyone.
With a tail. Whoa.
She's just a total
Sick.
animation's
I just get a
actually
kick
really
out of
He has a
that.
tail too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Wait,
Listen.
she really has a tail?
She does. Both of them.
You jerk! If you've got time to complain about me, you've got time
Hey,
to
Tom Sawyer.
There's nothing to do
Watching
around here,
in the
Millie.
car at the
Why
laundromat.
don't
Nice.
you go out and control them?
Staying productive.
Come on, I'll join you.
Hey,
We
Snake
can all
Eyes.
do it together.
All right.
Roddick, you come with us too.
They all have tails.
It's settled then. We'll all go together.
They all have tails. This is so strange to me.
This Claude's dead. Have a tail.
Claude
Does
have a
Claude
tail?
have a tail?
No.
Hey Tom, how's it going?
Look at that. There's like this weird tail curling over his cape.
Dude, this looks sweet.
What the fetch? Yeah, this looks really cool, actually.
This is
I really like this kind
different
of
than the second
3/4
game.
view.
Dude, they completely updated the graphics from the first one. This,
If you can't jump on the bed,
yeah, it's different from the second one, but it looks
No, 10
kind of
out of 10.
similar still.
I think I like this look a little better.
Yeah, this is sweet. Well,
Looks
that's
like a
weird though.
hand-painted kind of.
Star Ocean Second Story is like the best looking game ever. I do like the sprite animation, the in between frames and everything.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of information here. Dude, this is sweet. This looks really good.
I like it a lot. Wow.
In a lot of ways,
that's-
this looks very similar to Second Story. What?
It's I
It's
guess
another
like
hot day today.
and maybe
Oh,
it's
there's
because
treasure
I
chests up there,
played
by
the
the way.
PlayStation
Oh, yeah.
version of Star Ocean 2, but the backgrounds look like not quite as pixelated or separated from the sprites. Like the sprites blend in a little more to me here.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true. In Second Story,
Pablo says they're Saiyans.
they're pretty.
That'd be
This
pretty
looks
sick.
really really good.
Oh, the
Yeah, this
fell,
looks wonderful,
fell pool
man.
race. Oh.
This looks fetching perfect. Thanks for all your work.
Final
Have you
Fantasy
noticed
16 should
anything
look like
strange or unusual going on?
Serpent Fists thought we
Mhm.
canceled the stream because he thought yesterday was Friday and we didn't stream.
Oh crap!
Oh shoot!
Oh man,
Yesterday may have been Friday in some part of
today's
the
Friday,
world.
which means it sucks. You have to go to work again.
Yeah.
I always hate when I do that. It's like, yes, fetching Friday. No, it is. It's Thursday.
I haven't been to Cool in a while.
Close.
And if you ever happen to go that way, please give my regards to my friends.
Ben says he's watching with his kids. That's awesome, dude.
This will be
Hey, Roddick, let's keep
children's
patrolling
friendly.
Kratos. Okay.
This
Dude,
is an
these graphics are
extremely
awesome.
wide angle, like extremely wide.
Yeah.
Especially considering this is going to be on. So you're getting bigger though as you come to the foreground.
Yeah, which is,
So
I
they're
think,
doing a
super
little
cool.
perspective there. That's good.
I'm patrolling. If you ever hurt, I'll make you get better with
Roddick.
my special sparkle magic.
So this was
Yeah.
when like the
Thanks,
default
Sheena.
name that would be typed in a game would be like all caps for some reason, and no one else's name would be all caps.
What's up, Chase?
Millie right there totally was, but
How's it going?
some games I would go in it and just like rewrite the name just so I could have it like capitalized properly, not be like Roddick.
Yeah.
Colton
Well.
Dixon dropped a new album. Cowboys, you got Dr. Pepper? Man,
Aw,
Dr.
dude.
Pepper's I have a hard
Backgrounds
time
Look
with
at
Dr. Pepper.
this.
Really
The backgrounds
clean.
look cleaner than second story.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's true on the PSP version
Looks
of
like
that
you can
game as
interact with
well.
that thing. there
You know,
on the
I've
desk.
only been playing the PS1 version, so that is a good question.
But now here, the
see
sprite
that?
looks a little
Yeah.
stretched to me.
That thing on the desk looks like you can interact with it.
Well, over there though, the sprite is
Oh,
normal.
dang, yeah.
So we are looking at a more stretched version. Actually,
also
everything's looking
crisper.
very
Our screen's a lot crisper than that.
Different.
It is. It's weird.
And
What were you
less
asking?
saturated. That thing on the desk is oddly pixelated. It looks like you should be able to interact with it.
Don't touch that.
that.
That music box. Who said that?
Who told you that?
Someone named Dorn is here, and okay.
Makes it a
let's
little
get
more,
out of
you
here.
know when you're watching like an anime or cartoon or something, and you can tell that like this boulder's gonna fall down because it's painted differently than the other
Yes.
boulders. That
Yeah.
sort of thing. It's like stuff stands out a little bit more, like that. Things that are gonna animate, it's a little more obvious. Symbology.
Steve Diamond says your Zelda gameplay video didn't talk much about combat.
Cloth.
Combat's good in that game.
It's true, I guess. I was more focused on the open world part. That's what I wanted people to talk to me about mostly. I think something that people seem to constantly misunderstand about the discussion videos is that the whole purpose of them is to help me get an understanding of what other people think on certain things, so that when I do my review, I can sort of account for that stuff. Like, generally, I'll talk about things in the discussion videos that I know other people have very different opinions than me on. Like, for instance, the open world. I keep hearing people call it empty, and I don't understand that. So, mostly what that video was for was to try and get why people feel that way. Because I do the
I'm
discussion
not
videos
talented.
leading up to a review. And by doing
Text
that, I
is really
feel like
small,
it makes the
too.
review a lot better. You know, you'll notice, like on my Xenogears review, right? It's got like 1,000 likes, over 1,000 likes, and 5 dislikes. It's one of our most liked videos on the channel. So in terms of like to dislike ratio. And I count the reason for that directly being because I did all of those discussion videos leading up to it and really trying to understand what other players think and feel about the game. And you'll notice the very first video in that discussion series has a lot of dislikes because I prodded people by, you know, saying things that I knew that they would, you know, maybe disagree with, so that they'd come out and try and correct me, right? But that's the whole point. The whole point is
Us
just trying
kids
to get
are
other people
responsible for the
to
safety of the town.
share their
That's
feelings
just
with me.
funny as bitch.
So that's the purpose of the discussion videos. They're not meant to be like this complete,
know.
all-inclusive analysis. And I keep explaining that in the beginning of the videos, and people still don't really seem to understand what I'm doing with those. But
Nobody watches. They just load it up and then vote and then
just
make a comment
dislike and
immediately.
leave. Yeah.
Hey Zeb, how's it going, man?
Yo!
It would be interesting if they made a Resident Evil purely from this specific perspective.
Looking out the window. Oh, I'm sleeping. Oh, cool. That works too.
Well,
I'm just
very
kind of pushing
tired
X on
from
everything as I
exhausting.
walk up to it.
Yeah, there you go. Classic JRPG. It's actually why I
I just
really
slept
hate,
on my patrol.
really hate that they started like the Dragon Quest games. They start hiding crap in all the bookshelves and things. And all it does is makes me freaking walk
Just
around the world,
everywhere
like,
you
every
go.
surface hitting X everywhere.
X, yeah.
And it's just kind of actually ruins the gameplay a little bit.
Horizon, we haven't played this game much. Kaysen's played Star Ocean 2.
I played Star Ocean 2 for maybe 20 hours. I never played this game ever, though.
Is that
Dang.
a candy shop down there?
I feel like I've gone to every place I
Did you go in that one on the left?
Oh, I don't think I went to that one. Let's check it out.
Looks like they sell ice cream. Oh, food shop. La France.
Erotic, we
Miss
just got a
Frasher.
fresh shipment of vegetables, so
grocer.
make sure to tell your mother.
I will eventually review the Xenosaga games, yes.
Definitely. Thanks. You got any
Yeah,
blackberries? No, we haven't got them in yet.
Oh, this way to have this. See, this is why Silent Protagonist is better. I hate the fetch out blackberries, and now I can't relate to this protagonist because they want blackberries.
I know, seriously.
Fetch.
It ruins the whole thing.
Actually, that's a lie. Blackberry jam's the best thing to have on a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
I already cheered her up. Okay,
Zeb's having
so
a
I
gaming party
have
tonight.
talked to everyone
With
in
Kuma
town.
Films, Ronnie, Matt, if we're interested in Daybreak. Hey, cool. What are you guys playing?
I seem to remember in Star Ocean 2 that you couldn't proceed until you had talked to literally every single person. Am I remembering that correctly?
In the first village you go to after you warp and all that stuff, yeah, you've got to.
Oh, what's that?
I had to. Okay, perfect.
Triggered it. Triggered. The event has been triggered.
Wow,
That
bandits.
animation's really funny because their sword's getting longer as it moves forward.
Oh yeah,
It's like
not
it's
maintaining
being
proportion
revealed
correctly.
or I don't know. It's kind of weird looking.
yeah. I think he's like
that's
bringing it behind
really
him
weird.
a lot. Okay.
Here in broad daylight.
I know. Come here at night
Sounds like
next
freaking
time.
Naruto, dude.
You know the animation kind of looks like Naruto.
Looks like
too.
Naruto too, yeah.
Let's go.
We
Anyone know
kids
what
are
studio,
responsible for the safety of town.
Animated the animated sequences.
I don't. Let's crush him. Does anyone else know by chance?
Here they come.
Finally,
Wow,
someone who
this
appreciates
looks
blackberry spreadable fruit.
Very.
It is. Ambu Ninja. You know what you're talking about. It is
Dude.
the best jam.
The Star Ocean games have
I love the combat, dude.
some of the best ideas for aesthetics and presentation and battle mechanics. I feel like I would like them a lot, but I'm worried I will not like the stories. Was kind of my my beef with the second game. I just felt like it's so slowly paced. But I didn't do
It was
Claude's route.
sweet,
I
dude.
did the girl's route.
Oh, that's right. See, I know nothing about how that goes. Oh, I
It goes
thought
the
bandits
same,
went in here.
except
The people did.
that
Oh, they're there.
you don't get the beginning part, like where
You don't get the context.
You understand where Claude came from.
I think for some reason, well, I know exactly the reason, but I think they expected people to play the boy first. Oh, fetch, dude! You're gonna get jacked. Don't get in the middle of all of them.
Yeah, he's like, how
Oh,
do you like
shoot,
my
I'm
balls to
stunned.
fish strategy?
That one could have lasted longer.
That's his battle pose for winning. He like
Well, he looks away.
he looks away and he
He's
like,
like, I
shakes
didn't
his
even
tail back
care.
and forth like
Jeez, what is with the tails?
More of a fight than we figured, boss.
We kids are responsible for the safety of town.
Pathetic. Letting a couple of brats step all over us? Just wait till I show them.
Yep.
We aren't just any brats, I'll have you know. We're the official task force.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy.
And we're not about to let some punk swagger in here with this pack of gutless losers.
Hey, that well spoken, man.
Yeah, you
Fish
guys
just
wouldn't
came
last
up with
2
that on the
minutes in a
fly.
fight.
What did you say?
Let's get him, boss.
Sick. All right. Well, let me see if this is.
I hope we can
This
do
looks bad.
this.
Hold up. Okay, I can. So. Oh, it's not letting me.
It's blocking him.
Okay.
Chocolate Rob says this game has a much clearer story than the second. That's mostly why I prefer it.
Toosh. Oh, fetch, dude. He took down
All
that
I know
boss.
is I
That was
played
HP.
Star Ocean 3 with Parker. When he was living at my place for a little bit, like in 2006. And we did not like that game.
I wonder.
Willing to give it another shot, but it was
Great.
some strange. I felt like really
Flowing in.
cheesy writing, bad voice acting. Like the
Yeah,
voice
this is
acting
like-
here is pretty good. I feel.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
I mean, it's over the top on purpose. It's like the style, but
Just doing our job, sir.
Ooh, how suave of you.
So suave. Everyone Park used to say that. all
You
the
are
time.
so suave. Yeah, that was
so
his-
suave.
I think that was from Ed, Edd and Eddy. That night.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the last time they ever spent together.
Human, that's part of what I got into with some
Thank you,
people. I think what it boils down to when people are saying that. Actually, you know what? I just thought of something. Wait a minute.
Enjoy.
Let me check something real quick.
All right, we are enjoying the whatever she brought. Tea.
It's hardly even part of a fight.
LOL.
What are you talking about? That was a pretty close call, and you know it.
Whatevs. I didn't even dip below 50% HP. None of us did.
It's like Evander Holyfield says after a fight. He's just
Okay, there we go. Now we
should be below
now we should be
50%.
matching up a lot better with the video. Anyways, I was gonna say, I think most people's perspective when they're calling it empty, I think what they're trying to say is not that like the space is literally empty, but that
It just what there is to do doesn't interest them, maybe.
what there is to do is not varied, and after a certain amount of time, after you've done those things,
Well, see you
it
later.
becomes stale. It's like fatiguing. Like I feel like I've done this a lot.
Yeah.
And if you just would say that, I'd be like, oh, okay, I feel you.
Hope you feel better
But
tomorrow.
when you say it's such an empty, dull world, I go, what are you talking about? I just think that they're misusing the word empty there. I don't think it's actually descriptive of what their criticism is.
back anytime.
A coas.
Roddick's mom.
Being bored's a good thing, huh?
Poor Roddick.
You're
Nobody
grounded.
forgets
Jay
it.
West,
Oh,
somebody
this
actually
song.
agrees
This is the
with
same
me.
song.
He says,
Oh, I love it.
Sleeping
Star
song.
Ocean 3
Yeah,
really
from
messed
Star Ocean
up
2.
the series franchise, and it never recovered from that game. See, because
Sort
I
of,
thought,
but they're still making them.
I
like
thought
one comes
people
out
really liked
this
Star
year,
Ocean
I
3
think.
mostly.
Yeah.
It was like one of those
No
games
idea.
with this huge twist, right? Like
Maybe it's
freaking
just
crazy
notable
twist.
because of that, but
but I just
because that plays into the story.
I don't know.
of the
I
video
couldn't
games.
play past like an hour into it. I was like, holy crap, this is like really bad writing. That was my impression 10 years ago. I haven't played it in forever, so I know I might change my mind now. I'm open to that, but
Now we know where you got your blue hair from. Freaking genetic is fetch. Weapon shop.
They should have spelled it SHOPPE. I don't know what they were thinking.
okay. So here's a point from Anbu Ninja saying, for me personally, linear or open world, empty, lots of space, or packed with stuff, anything can work for me as long as the world feels lived in.
Word.
If the world is built really well and it feels like a real place, then I'm really there. Then that's what I want. That's what I want, or that's what it's all about for. Sorry, I can't read. It's really small on my screen. That's what it's all about for Methats. What it's all about for me. And you know, there would be some people who will say like Breath of the Wild doesn't feel lived in, and it's like you're right, because the story dictates that it takes place after a huge catastrophic event that killed almost everybody. So,
Are people making the argument that it doesn't feel lived in?
yeah, some people would say it feels.
See, what's weird is for a Zelda game, especially, and even compared to like a Skyrim or something, the people traveling to and from places really does a lot to me to like make the world feel a little bit more alive, and like there's commerce between these villages and things. I think that was a nice touch that they did.
Yeah, I like that.
Like I definitely felt as I played Breath of the Wild that the world itself felt extremely good. Not only to like move through and you know you find things to do, and I was curious about that over there, and so I wanted I felt all of that was very organic in terms of motivating me to explore. But I understand where people are coming from when they say like the things you do in between traveling, like they say it's not very meaningful in that you don't get rewarded really for it.
And I've heard people make that argument as well, especially because it's like there's no XP in the game. Like a lot of RPGs,
right.
you would be rewarded for an interaction through XP. And I totally see that, but for me, it's just fun. So like the ultimate reward in a game is it should be fun.
Yeah.
And if it's not fun for a person, then I get it. It doesn't appeal to them. But to me, I don't think that every interaction needs to come away with an item, a piece of equipment, a number you took away from the interaction. Because I just have fun. I just went back and I just fought a bunch of moblins and bokoblins kind of right off the Great Plateau again. Just 'cause whatever weapons I get from them are going to be garbage. Like I'm not going to get anything good from them. But it's fun to just like use stasis, use magnesis, and just try and come up with creative ways to fight them. So if someone's not oriented towards that type of exploration or experimentation in a game, and they just want to like fight things and get through the story, I can see why they would think those interactions are, they want more out
Less
of it than just
meaningful.
the entertainment value of like, I can't freaking believe what I just did here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you get out of it what you put into it in that sense.
I agree with that. And, you know, I feel like I understand at least what the players who are saying this are coming from. But it just, and that never even occurred to me because I was just enjoying it. Like, I just was having a good time playing the game. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I feel like is, you know, I use the word divisive in the video I made, and some people were like, what the freak, what are you talking about? It's not a divisive game. I think it's more divisive amongst our community.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's people come from traditional RPGs.
People who like a lot of story in their RPGs.
Or people who just
Zelda's
like
not an RPG.
Zelda, all the
RPGs,
Zelda games have
exactly.
been divisive for our community. I think every time we've brought up Zelda or talked about it, we get a lot of
people have
comments,
always-
people saying how they don't like Zelda. Hi, Ivy, what's up?
In any case, like, you know, people on this channel, you know, generally, I mean, we did that test, like, mostly favor story and immersion, right?
Right.
Immersion, Breath of the Wild,
Breath of the Wild
is
nails that, man.
might be like the most immersive game I've ever played. But story-wise, it's
So,
different.
I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's a background thing. To be honest, JRPGs
See
and
the open
RPGs
world.
are the smallest video game genre, like the least popular, I should
Sick.
say. So
This
it
is
doesn't
so much
surprise
like
me
Star
that,
Ocean 2.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me that the greater reception of the game from your average person who plays video games is
Loves
one,
it.
but this reception from the smallest group of people who play video games is kind of off from that. Even if that whole group thought the same way, I think it still wouldn't be enough to offset what your average person who plays games thinks.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. It's too bad that RPGs are as small of a genre as they are. Was reading a really funny quote from President Nintendo from about 2000. He was saying how JRPGs are slow games played by lonely people in their dark rooms. Something along those lines. There's a lot of people who just have this idea that JRPGs in particular, are for, I don't know, people who just have no social life or whatever because they're really long games, or they don't tend to be multiplayer.
Immediately. Mystery outbreak in Cool Village.
Steve, I commented on my feelings on the final boss in the video. I won't talk about it here because these guys haven't finished it, so. But yeah, I mean, I talked about how I felt about the final boss of the video.
We go help them out. That's what.
Shogrob saying, don't forget to save on the world map.
Okay. Maytorks. Let's go to Mount Maytorks and get some herbs.
And I keep comparing
What?
the game to Skyrim, but I do think it's pretty. Of the games I played, I think it's really close to Skyrim. But bring up what you're mentioning here, Mimic, with Lore Runner talking about the personalities of NPCs in Breath of the Wild being well done. I felt like a lot of the people in Skyrim's world were like the same person. There's some unique people, but for the most part, your average person in town was just like super forgettable. And I don't get that sense of Breath of the Wild. Like there's specific people in towns, and they have honestly equivalent population sizes, I think, between towns, between those two games. And there's people that or more memorable to me. Probably from
I'll
a
be
character
back in a
design
little while,
perspective in
all
Breath
right?
of the Wild.
Stay away.
The biggest problem with Skyrim's NPCs is that they were voiced between like 5 people.
Yeah, totally.
So you hear the same voices over and
That's
over.
an issue. Like, voice acting brings a lot of problems, and unless you're willing to totally address them, like, I would have been fine with Zelda games never having voice acting, but I see people on Twitter raging about, like, it's not a modern game if it doesn't have voice acting, and they need to get with the times. And I'm like, dudes, they're gonna do it, and it's not gonna be the way you wanted it to be. This character's gonna sound not the way you thought they
What is
should.
the aversion
And then
to
it's
reading,
like,
dude?
what the crap? I know, right? Because
Why do
Americans
people
don't
hate
like
wants to read,
watching
man?
movies with subtitles either. and
Yeah,
it's like,
Americans. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We'll let you know if anything's up.
it's harder to screw it up when it's just text.
Alter Ego. You know, in the past I've thought about putting a schedule
Come
out,
on, guys. Lighten
but
up a bit.
it's really, really, really hard to do that. Like, it just never turns out the way I would like it to. Like, we have a schedule of uploads that we have here, and it almost never happens that way.
Yep.
It's just video creation takes so much time, and the research takes so much time, and things change before the date. Like, I was going to do a whole bunch of Mass Effect Andromeda coverage,
Yeah.
and then I learned the game's not that good, and I just did not want to buy it.
Yeah.
So I'll cover that some other time. So I've decided to change my
2 days.
focus over to Nier, but I don't really have time to play Nier right now because I'm really focused on Final Fantasy Tactics. So Final Fantasy Tactics is kind of what I'm working on right now. That's the next review, and the one after that will probably be Persona 5.
I love how muffled their voices sound.
Actually,
That was great.
Persona 5
That was
might come
good.
first, and then Final Fantasy
Yeah.
Tactics. And then after Final Fantasy Tactics, I'll do a review for Final Fantasy 11, and then 12, and just keep going with Final Fantasy games.
You know, something I think I might want to do at some point with Persona 5 is do like a localization review. So play it again in English, and then like kinda evaluate the localization.
It incubates for about an hour, but after it develops, the infected turn into stone in about 3 days' time. There is no hope for Cool. Do
Oh,
not
cool.
approach
Now we
it
know.
under any circumstances. March.
Whoops. I didn't hear him say his name. I didn't know if he was going to say his own name or not.
Millie, wait! She's
Meaty.
Meaty. Cool all by herself. We've got to stop her.
Yeah, we do. Let's,
He's just got the Brock thing going on. He looks
Stop
like he's
her.
smiling no matter what. We gotta stop her, and he just looks like he's very pleased about.
is
the
Cool
situation.
north or south?
She said she's heading south to Cool. Didn't he say that?
I don't
Good
recall.
fetch. What did he say?
But let's go this
She's
way.
gonna head
then.
for Cool all by herself. I don't know.
Steve, I would say it's very likely that I will review Final Fantasy 12 after the remaster comes out, just because of how much time it takes me to get through not only the games but all the research and stuff. But Final Fantasy 12, if I'm not mistaken, is the longest of all the Final Fantasy games. It's like one of those 100 hours for sure kind of games.
South?
So that's going to take me a while.
It must be north. Wow.
See, Tom, that's an
left.
interesting perspective because when it comes to video games, I actually feel opposite. I feel like
We got trouble.
if a game has good gameplay, I can tolerate a bad story.
Yeah,
I feel
like
if a game
Mario.
has bad gameplay, that's it for me. It's freaking it.
Well, because that's what makes a game
Yeah.
different from experiencing a story in any other medium. Is
If it's not bringing that to the table, then
Yeah, gameplay.
you are interacting with it, and if the interaction is
Power's flowing in me.
not interesting, or if it's not doing it for you, then you could be receiving a really good story in several different ways. Mm-hmm. For me, I mean, I kind of agree
Nice.
with
Sweet.
Tom on
This
that.
is
Like,
cool.
there have been games I've played that
What's
had,
wrong, Dorn?
I won't say like poor gameplay in the sense that it's like bad, but that weren't necessarily very stimulating or very difficult or challenging. Like, they're really kind of easy to play, but that's because story is really important to me overall. But I think that I would say for most people, not on this channel. Most people on this channel are looking for story. Most people who play video games, and just the majority of people who play a game, they're looking for something interesting to do more than they are something that like tells a great story. And that makes sense to me.
Interaction.
Well, it does, because what you always say this. What's the game you've played more than any other game?
Melee, I think, or
Smash
Dark
Brothers.
Souls. Yeah,
It's like
no story.
that's not a freaking story. I mean, there is kind of a sort of story with the hand and with things, but it's like, who cares?
Average. You're saying
That's
average
not why-
gameplay. I guess. I don't know. That's all relative. I don't know. To me, yeah, it's gameplay is the number one thing. So if the gameplay is not quite there, there's a few games where I've continued playing even though the gameplay was kind of mediocre because I
Alright,
wanted to
don't touch
find out
anybody.
something. But not many examples. There's way more examples of a game that has a crap story or literally no story that I kept playing because it was just fun. To me, it's just that's what brings fun in video games because that is
totally.
what video games are.
Like,
It's entertainment.
I mean, I just played. I mean, I wouldn't say either of these games have bad stories necessarily. Just not very interesting stories for me. But Neo and Breath of the Wild, I felt like, you know, the stories were just not interesting to me at all.
Back here somewhere.
But the games were fun to play, and they just kept me coming back because I was really enjoying playing. So I feel like I can do that when the gameplay is like really excellent, even if the story I feel is average.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's the other way around for me too, and I don't know how many other people that's true for, where the gameplay is average, but the story is excellent.
Don't touch me.
I'm still like totally willing to do that. But
I am done for, Millie.
I mean, the reason games are games.
the Mario
I'm trying to think
games
of
play them.
examples of
So-
games with average gameplay and good stories. I'm trying to think.
I would say Mass Effect 1 is
Yeah.
average gameplay, but a great
I
story.
would think that would be
I can't even hold
a good example. I mean, Skyrim's gameplay, honestly.
Yeah, Skyrim's gameplay.
Fighting?
I would
Okay, hold
almost
on,
In
hold on.
say-
Skyrim?
Skyrim's combat is garbage.
Yeah,
Skyrim's
but that's what...
exploration.
Yeah, but is that... I guess that's gameplay.
Skyrim's
right?
combat's actually pretty
So,
good if
okay,
you're just doing
so
bow
here we
and
go.
arrow.
Combat garbage, exploration awesome. Let's average the two.
We
Bring the
can
two in the
average
middle.
that,
It's
you can
average
that.
gameplay.
You can average that. If you try and play as a freaking mage in Skyrim, it's crap. You have to install mods to make it even worth your freaking while.
Yeah, I would say Skyrim's a great example of a game that a lot of people don't like because gameplay. But I really enjoyed the game.
Right.
the quest lines, especially some of them outside the main story, are just so compelling that like.
For me.
So that's I think that's an example for me.
Millie, let's go.
Millie.
It's kind of weird because half of what
Oh,
I
he's
did in
turning into
Skyrim, I
stone
feel like,
right
was
now.
just wander around and just look for stuff. Well, there's another dungeon down here. I'm just like looking for it. So I feel like obviously there's tons of combat in Skyrim, but I feel like the core gameplay cycle for me in Skyrim was like not interacting with the storyline so much as interacting with just the environment.
Dorn?
And just going places, going up here, what can I see from here, and then go in this cave,
By yourself?
But
wonder what I can find. in
by
the cave.
going up there and by going in the cave, there are enemies, right?
It's true, there are. It's true, but I mean,
you still have to fight
if
even
you're
when you're
playing,
just
because I
exploring.
played like a stealth build with like most people end up playing a stealth build thief character because that's what the game encourages you to do. And I ended up just sneaking places.
Dwarfs, aren't you?
What I really enjoyed about Skyrim,
Doesn't take a genius to see what you're
because I hate the combat, is what you're talking about, finding new places, but also
I'm sorry.
the like, I guess the acquisition of more
Come on, quit
power.
pouting.
like getting more powerful, getting all those shouts, like all the parts of the dragon shouts, and like finding out what they do, getting cooler armor, like
Yeah.
the customization of the character, I think.
See, once I got the
is-
Nightingale armor, that's
Yeah.
basically when I stopped playing
That
the
was
game. So it's
basically-
like I'll never.
It's like
change
I
this
got
armor.
the best thing.
There's
never
no
change it.
There's nothing.
reason.
I've hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
For
That's
armor in
funny.
this game.
Because
You
then
know,
the other
it's
armor
kind of
would
the
be
same
like
thing.
something else I would want. It would change my class basically.
Millie, I want you to know something.
I liked
like
the
you.
skill tree
Oh,
in
sorry.
Skyrim. I liked the way that they allowed you to kind of
I
to some degree
W.
pick the way your character developed. But
Dorn?
is he dying?
The fish.
Yeah, Humam is saying Dragon's Dogma is also an example of awesome gameplay and a kind of a bad story. That's the one reason I haven't really like prioritized playing Dragon's Dogma, because it's the kind of game I feel like I would really enjoy, like gameplay wise. But I've heard the story sucks.
No, sorry. I'm fine.
Skellhart saying that Nier Automata has both a good story and great gameplay.
You know, it's an interesting story from what we've seen. Very interesting, and the gameplay is absolutely great. Freaking phenomenal.
Hopefully, after I finish Tactics, I'll have lots more time to jump into that. But
I'll go find someone.
Do you watch a movie because you're a fan of the composer of the score? I don't know if
Yes.
that's ever been what's made me see a movie.
Yeah,
before.
it probably isn't, but I remember I was stoked when I heard that John Williams was doing Harry Potter. Now, Harry Potter, I
yeah.
likely would have seen anyways, right?
Right.
But I was like, oh my fetch, John Williams. Like, I thought that was sweet.
I was pretty pumped.
I know
that,
some people do soundtracks, like the Nine Inch Nails guy did.
Trent Reznor.
Trent Reznor did Social Network.
He's great. He's freaking
And that
great.
was like, I don't know, that was a big draw for me.
I know that I was really excited about Michael Giacchino doing Rogue One because I wanted to see what his take on Star Wars would be. Because I like Michael Giacchino, but I was pretty disappointed in that. But that wasn't why I
I'd
saw it.
say, right, exactly.
I saw the movie because we
it's
got
not the
free
reason
tickets. I wouldn't have
why.
seen it otherwise, to be completely honest.
But it's funny, whenever you have your favorite like director, composer, actor, basically anything in a modern like Disney movie, I'd say like
They don't have creative control.
yeah, they don't have any creative control at all. And
First thing out of her
like
mouth.
John Favreau and what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. did at the
With Iron
when
Man.
Marvel was first starting.
Yeah.
But it's been decided now. Like you they don't get to do
Well, that's
what,
why Jon
what they
Favreau's-
want to do now.
I mean, he still works with Disney though, because he's doing The Lion King
Lion
and he
King,
did
yeah.
Jungle Book.
But he stopped doing the
Stop
Marvel
doing the Marvel
movies.
stuff. I like Jon Favreau. I think he's a freaking
He's
great
a
director.
he's a wonderful director.
Roddick, come
He's a
with
good
me.
guy
Lots of
overall.
trouble.
Yeah,
he
he
is.
seems to be. Is his chef movie, is that on Netflix by chance?
I don't know.
I wanted to see that.
we got CP Ashp. I'm not sure how I should say your username. Are you ever going to go back to Chrono Cross? My head still cannot comprehend the ridiculousness of its story. I liked Chrono Cross from what I played. I played probably about 5 or 6 hours into it, and I will definitely go back and review that for sure.
So he collapsed up here, right?
Vangelis is doing the new Blade Runner.
Are you alright?
Is that for sure or no?
Who is?
Vangelis, who did the original
Badalamenti.
Blade Runner soundtrack.
Huh? What do you mean?
I'll tell you what, Nobuo Uematsu composing music might
That makes me play
get
games.
me to play a game.
It gets me to play games. I'm not even joking.
I gotta play Terror Battle.
Saw you.
That's
did some of
true.
that. He
I
did
gotta
the-
play Terra Battle because of Nobuo Uematsu even more than Hirano Sakaguchi.
Told you. Roddick, don't you think we ought to go pick some herbs at the peak of Mount Matorx?
Oops.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it, man.
Due north of Cool. We'll need to watch ourselves. You said
North of
that's
Cool.
Fellworm territory up there.
Fellworm.
David says that February and January have been probably the best game seasons in a while.
It's been very good.
It's a shame
very
that Mass
good.
Effect had to ruin the awesome game streak we had going.
You know,
It is way too bad.
It was.
I would like to point out to you guys, too,
Anyways.
that all these
Another
games
cutscene, huh?
have been, except for Horizon Zero
somebody
Dawn, have
doing
been Japanese games.
Oh.
And people were saying,
snap.
even just 2 or 3 years ago, that Japanese game developers
They're going
don't-
out,
They're going,
yeah.
they're out of touch. They don't know how to make games that connect with people anymore.
At least not to
And that
Americans.
feeling, I feel like, really kind of carried up even through Final Fantasy 15's release. It was like, gosh, dang
Oh,
it, they
the
still don't know
guy,
how to do
oh,
it.
fetch.
But the beginning of this year has definitely restored a lot of
Wait,
people's
are
faith
they
in
doing the same Shadow
Japanese
thing? Yes, they
developers.
are. This is like really
It
cool.
pops- Oh, so
Yeah,
you get
when
shaded
they
by it, that's
treat
pretty cool.
sprites like this,
It just
I
helps
wonder
it
if they do
blend
the
so
rim,
well.
the rim light as well.
I
Yeah,
would say that
freaking
Star Ocean,
beautiful.
more than any other game I've ever played, blends
Yeah.
backgrounds with characters better than I've ever
They
seen
scale,
in a game
they,
from
they
this
scale
era.
you with the
Ever.
depth.
Yeah,
It's
they've got
pretty
that
cool.
aesthetic down.
This is the best version of my
Yeah,
favorite
the depth
aesthetic in
scale
games.
is sweet.
Whereas where you have 3D backgrounds, well, they're not 3D. Here they're 3D. they're pre-rendered, but blending a sprite onto
Due
a
north.
CG generated
Get it?
background. This game does it better than
We
any
got
game I've
trouble.
ever seen.
Fetch, oh fetch. Oh fetch.
That's what medics say in the military when they're out in the
Heal.
field and they're wrapping a dude's wound. They're like, heal, heal.
Oh, nice. He's saying, sorry, no, I had to double check the correct myself. Blade Runner 2 will be scored by Johan Johansson, who recently scored Arrival and Sicario.
Oh, sick.
Both of those movies are freaking awesome. If you
Oh, the
haven't seen
Sicario
them.
production team is doing the new Blade Runner.
That'll be why.
I really like Sicario. It's a great movie.
Oh, shoot. What, really? They lay their eggs on you if you get too close. Okay, hold on, because I don't have a ranged attack at the moment, as far as I know. Let's see if I can, figure something out
Those
here.
menu sounds are classics.
Yeah.
Too.
I've got nothing to learn. What about super specialty, huh? Nice.
Tom Sawyer saying the reason he prioritizes story over gameplay is the time commitment to those games. I don't play a lot of. I guess he's going to continue this.
Alright, attack with all you've got, maybe not.
Play a lot of pick up and play games, so poor story is reason to give up on a game with good gameplay but poor story.
What about Super
Have you
Mario Brothers?
Guys, played any of the trails of games? They also blend background characters pretty well. Yeah, they do. Actually, that's the perfect aesthetic for me, is the way the Trails games look.
Okay, how do you
Because I really
attack
like
and
sprites,
stay away?
but I still like being able to pivot your camera around an environment.
Well, Trails of Cold Steel and stuff, those are fully 3D. But the Trails in the Sky games are
Oh, they abandoned sprites for
more like
those.
this.
For
Yeah,
the newest
Cold
ones.
Steel is all full 3D.
That's too bad. I don't like that.
I guess we still run in and attack, right? It didn't
I think
matter.
most
no eggs
instances-
laid. Okay.
If you compare a smaller character model to a sprite,
Nice.
the sprite carries more like personality and style to it. I feel like, especially if it's done well, because they can pull off subtleties and tricks that they use in animation, like 2D animation, that sometimes don't really make sense in 3D animation.
Nope. This game's freaking sweet, by the way.
I really like these games. Despite, I think the day I was playing Star Ocean 2, I was...
We can't lose.
First of all, I picked the wrong character, but second of all, I think I was just busy or, something else was going on that day. But I really do think I would like these games overall. I love when they do shadows, so they're so huge.
Yeah, this huge black
It's just
spot.
like black circle that's like
Yeah.
way wider than the character is.
That's pretty funny.
Power flowing.
Yeah, feel it, dude. Okay, we got a bunch of skill points. I think I can allocate those.
Yeah,
for
Rob's
something.
saying Roddick acquired a skill earlier, if you could find it.
Really? Because, okay, I guess I was just on my character. Hold up.
Yeah, go to skills and then learn skills.
Well, oh, shoot. Because that's what I did. Oh, RNL. I
maybe-
saw him get one.
Maybe back out and then what's the other options in that menu before this? Item creation.
Yeah, special.
I don't know.
Super special? No. Yeah, I saw that.
Arts and
though.
special skills. Go to the top option. What's that?
Oh, this?
Yeah. And then click on him. Oh, that's how you set them. So if you click on
She has
him,
a couple.
If you click on not Roderick or on Roderick.
Roddick?
Yeah, there we go. Shockwave swirl.
Ah, there we go. So that's the L button for me.
Or you could, I guess, equip it on R if you wanted to. But
The font for the
So he
character names
doesn't
looks really
have
interesting here.
anything.
Almost looks
I
like
kind of,
ribbons.
actually, I think I'd rather have that be on R. Dang it.
Melchior Blade says, "What's up? Caught your stream. Are you streaming Near Automata? I'm really interested to hear what you think about the game. We are not streaming that one. I'm going to
We
finish
did
Final
last
Fantasy
week, right?
Tactics this week, and then I'll
fetch.
kind of jump on to Nier after that. I was thinking I'd play them both simultaneously,
We got
but
trouble.
just don't have time for it. I gotta finish tactics first.
What the heck?
So that took a little MP, I guess.
How would you know if they laid eggs on you, anyways? Have they shown?
They talked about it after last battle. They were like, "Oh, do you have any eggs? Brush them off." So it might be if like the battle takes too long,
Huh.
then something happens. Oh, he's fetched again.
CP
Come on,
says,
Dorn, just tell us what's going on, man.
I'm halfway through Xenogears right now and wondering if there are similarities, story connections to Xenoblade or Xenoblade X. No. They're not tied at all.
They're just like in the same universe, right?
No, not even.
Not even.
You could argue that
That's funny.
Xenosaga is in the same universe as Xenogears, but even that is debatable. Each of these series are kind of their own thing. I think even Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X are in a different universe. So, but you will see similar story ideas in Xenogears from Xenoblade X and Xenoblade. Like certain concepts are carried over from the story. And so it's kind of interesting to see where the genesis of those ideas really came from.
That's why he's like, "Oh, let's go to the mount and get the herbs," because he's freaking got it. He's got the illness.
I'm sorry.
Heon is saying remake of Star Ocean 1, right? Using Star Ocean's
Yes,
second story's engine.
PSP.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? Let's get moving.
Let's go. What?
Nice transition.
How would you compare tactics
Sick.
with the main Final Fantasy game story-wise? Let's watch this first, and I'll get back
What
to
the
it.
heck?
There's the flower that we need.
That sounded a little funny. What? This is where the star part of Star Ocean comes in. Whoa, seriously. Holy crap.
I thought there wasn't supposed to be anyone here.
Prime Directive violated.
Here, Captain, when I scanned the area.
Who are you? What do you want?
Have you come here to take the herbs away from us?
Where did you come from?
Look, you don't have to be so
Stay where you are!
so afraid.
We speak the same
Who are you?
language.
Where are you from? You're dressed really weird and I don't trust you!
Well,
Freaking xenophobe.
Exactly.
Ronix J. Kenny sounds like
Allow me.
an American name that a
My
Japanese
name's
person made up.
Elia Silvestri.
Ronix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ronix J.
Before you
Kenny.
say anything, I want you to know that
Silvestri,
we're not your enemy.
kind of
We're here
also.
to help you. Before you say anything, I want to let you know that we are not your enemy.
Wait, that was right in the. You
Really?
just said that.
Well, they sure aren't our friends.
It's like
Not
a
these
commercial break,
strangers.
and they come back and say the last
Exactly.
We're here to pick some of the herbs off of this mountain, that's all.
Nada más.
I should tell you that these herbs won't stop anyone from turning into stone.
Whoops.
Who are you?
More interested in listening to us now?
Hey
All
guys,
right,
let's stop being
go.
racist. Okay. Deal.
I'm sure you won't believe us at first, but we've come from a place far, far away to save all
Better
of
believe
you.
them, they just teleported in. Fetch.
Yeah,
Believe
we
everything
kind
they
of believe you.
Come see me then.
We can't make direct contact with civilizations in the early stages of development. It's part of the Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact.
Nice.
Early stages of development.
We came here from beyond the sky, from another planet. We're making something of a special exception to the rule, you see.
Beyond the sky? Another planet?
Are you gods? No, we're not gods. We're people, just like you. Well, except
Not
without
really.
the tails.
Yeah, we have tails, so.
Oh, wow! Lazonia, a force opposing our own, broke the Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact recently and engaged in direct interference with this planet. As if that weren't bad enough, they also fired a biological weapon at you, releasing the contagion that spread across this whole area.
So we're turning into stone and it's because of those Lazonia guys?
Correct. I can't believe this! We've been sent here to examine the disease and try to find a treatment for it.
Like, you don't like that Ilya's wearing black here, but she's wearing orange in her sprite.
To help you. Probably in ways you've never imagined.
I still can't believe any of this. But can you really help with the cure?
I can't really
We can
believe
try.
it. But if you're able to save our friend here,
If you come with us and help us in creating a vaccine, we should be able to cure him.
What's a vaccine? That's what they should be saying.
Vaccine?
Oh, perfect. Yeah. The realism of this
Spoke
game.
too soon, dude.
A miracle medicine, sort of.
Sort of.
He'll give you autism, but deal
Yeah,
with it.
deal with it.
Parker says, hi, favorite Blink-182 songs? Thank you.
What's up, Parker?
What's up, Mark? All
there's
small
something you
things,
wanna know
right?
before
All the small
All
things.
small
I
things.
don't even know what that's actually titled.
you'll
I
probably
don't know the names of any other Blink-182 songs.
I
to be honest with
know. I just know like part of the chorus, I guess.
What was that?
Why not?
That I think it was when they were plus 44 after they were Blink-182.
Oh,
That's that
then
summer
that
one.
was without Tom.
I'm
Oh no,
feeling
that's
it.
Boxcar Racers.
No, I'm
Different
thinking
band.
of.
There's too many. Boxcar Racers
Oh,
was
I'm-
Tom and Mark and Travis. It was all three of them.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm feeling it. Dun, 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 dun,
I swear
dun.
that's Box.
feeling
Faith
it.
fell short this time. Smile fades in the summer. That one.
Yeah, is that Boxcar
I'll
Racer?
leave when
Yeah, I
I
think
want
it's the
to.
same song,
Too
yeah.
much.
I think that's Boxcar Racers when they did that whole
I
thing.
thought they came out with
I'm
the
pretty sure
song
that one's Blink-182.
the
Is it?
summer afterwards.
Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact.
Like
Okay,
summer 2004.
So, somebody asked about Final Fantasy Tactics story in comparison to
Now, if
the
you
other
like,
ones.
we could go our separate
It's
ways and
it's
we
much
could
more
pretend this was
straightforward.
all some
If
kind
you're
of fever dream,
a
there is
big
still time
fan
for
of
that.
like traditional JRPG stories that have
That
like
was funny.
a lot of crazy twists in them and stuff like that, and they just get like way out there. Final Fantasy Tactics is not that. It's like much more comprehensible, straightforward, and in my opinion, much more mature. And it's my style of story. I really like the story. It's my favorite story of any of the Final Fantasy games.
Do that. You want me to choose between losing you
I think
forever
that
or losing my
The
father and
a
everyone else
comparison
forever?
with Game of Thrones is
Don't make me
like
do that, Dorn.
kind of silly, but also just
Millie, let's
the
go with
easiest
Dorn
way to
too.
help people
I'm
understand
sorry to
like
break
what
this to you,
it's
but there's
kind of
just
like.
nothing
It's
we
more
can do
about
if we stay here.
lots of different characters and
I know it's
factions.
hard.
Political.
And they're all betraying each other. It's much more of a political.
It's like episode
I'm going to
3
save everybody.
of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, it's settled. Might as well get going.
So I really like it.
Close
I
your
think
eyes
it's
for a
awesome,
moment,
but
please.
it's not really like it's not about the plot. Well, I mean, it is plot driven, but it's more about the people involved in it than it is about like what's happening. It's more or less just a big war story with political factions that are all betraying each other and stuff, and then how that affects two best friends who try to handle this in very different ways.
Sick.
So I really like that.
Good thing they had enough pods to take them.
I know there are two
Two more
more.
people and they would have been full.
Mr. Full Breed is saying, he was asking if we thought there's any chance of Final Fantasy X-3. I actually think there's a very good chance of it because Kitase
A
has
10-3?
mentioned it a couple of times in interviews over the last year or so.
Well, you look at their most famous games, and you've got Final Fantasy 7, right? But then the next best selling is Final Fantasy 10.
10, yeah.
And people are always talking about like, well, which one are they going to remake next? And I think 10 is the next logical step for them.
Yeah.
It's also the next one that I hear people talking so
Advanced a bit
nostalgic
sooner
about.
than you, that's all.
Like
10.
10, everybody liked Final Fantasy 10.
10 was the Final Fantasy 7 for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was. The PlayStation 2, it just blew people's minds.
CP is asking, hardest question of all time, which game, in your opinion, do you think has the best story or your personal favorite? I would
Of
have
all games?
I'd be choosing between
Well, let's get 'em over to
probably
Supreme.
Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7,
The floor.
The Witcher
It's
3,
moving.
Oh,
Mass
Door
Effect.
back there, open that
that's
up.
old tech. That's old tech,
and-
guys.
Incredible.
What am I missing here? I
I've
know
never
there's
seen
something I'm
anything like
probably
this
missing.
before.
Like Chrono Trigger and Xenogears. Of the games I play, it'd be probably
I
a
just
toss-up
realized
between those
I
6,
haven't asked any of your
and
names yet.
choosing one of them would be
My
very
name
hard
is
for me.
Roddick Ferris.
I think they're all very, very good.
I'm Millie Cleat.
So,
Billy Cleant.
Dorn.
Dorn.
Myrtle.
He sounds like Crash McLarson from the
Murtaugh.
Aquabats
He does.
Super Show.
Total rating.
Better
Correct answer was Dumpweed partnership.
I can't remember because Blink-182 named their songs weird.
They did. They
things,
all
so I
have
can't
like
remember
nothing
which.
to do with the lyrics.
How did Dumpweed go? Anyways,
Did they kind of like start that trend in punk bands?
they might.
Where
have.
they just have ridiculous names that don't really have anything to do with the song.
This must be surprising you, but this is how we treat sick
See
people.
what you can do for him, Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, there's a little save point down at the bottom left.
Well, no point in having you hang
Wing,
around
wing,
here.
wing, wing. It's like whipping these
How
hula
would
hoops
you
around.
like a
Yeah.
tour of the ship?
I want a tour of the
That
ship.
would be a violation of the Preservation Pact.
Wait,
Well,
really?
we're
A
already
tour?
fetching
I mean,
here.
we're already
It's
here.
a little late for that, isn't it? I'll
Exactly.
be on the bridge. You show him around for me. Okay?
They just violated the Prime Directive. They don't give a fetch.
I know, literally. Too late. Captain, don't show them around. We're only allowed to bring them on and bring them here. We can't show them the other part.
Pissed.
Oh, she is mad. Ilya. Oh, she, like, walked into us. Is he there? Is Dorn?
He must be in the pod.
Yeah, I guess so. Wait, that girl walked into us, but I only see Millie and Roddick. What is?
Oh, sorry. Last of Us is another one I think that has one of the best stories in games. So that's another good pick, Tom. David Torres says, "What would everyone do if they tried to remake Chrono Trigger?" And Heon says, "I'd be Chrono Triggered."
Nice. Good work, Ian.
The only way that I think a Chrono Trigger remake would work is if they did it in the style of Dragon Quest, like Dragon Quest 11 or something.
it's Akira Toriyama, right?
Yeah. If they did it in the style of Dragon Quest, like either Dragon Quest 8 or Dragon Quest 11, what they're doing right now, I think either one, while they're pretty different, I feel would work. And if they did that,
as long as they have a D-make on the bottom screen.
have to have the original.
You know what's
on
funny
the
about
bottom.
that? I don't know how I would feel because I played Chrono Trigger originally. I played the SNES version, and then when I played the DS version, which had the animated sequences crap, I actually really did not like that they put animated sequences in.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I don't know why, but I just don't like playing games where... Because it was just weird. There was a point in time where I did like this kind of stuff, but I don't like playing games where
I can't
they kind of break the aesthetic of what you have going on by introducing something that's higher fidelity. And then going back to the...
Final Fantasy VII had a
it's just like crap.
that,
like the sequence with... I don't know. With the sword and the mountain and all that crap. I don't know. Cutting back to the game, all of a sudden it was like, oh, dang.
I totally feel you there. And that's why I think that it could work in like a Dragon Quest 11 style, is that you wouldn't have to really
go back
break
and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cutscenes and the gameplay could be the same.
Let them be continuous.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. Well, also, if you do that, just do them in-game.
Tom Sears saying Rogue Galaxy style Chrono Trigger? Maybe.
Rogue Galaxy is
that's not
super cool.
At least in the way that they render, it's like a cell shaded kind of thing, right? But the way they handle light and
talk to these guys.
Stuff like that is really good. But I still think you'd have to do the Akira Toriyama style art. I don't think that doing the art style from Rogue Galaxy would work necessarily.
Yeah, right.
Our outfits are so cute. Are your tails?
Hey,
your
outfits. What's up?
Are your tails real?
Yeah, I agree with Melchior Blade. I
racist.
don't think there's any reason to remake Chrono Trigger. If they did do it, if they did it like Dragon Quest, I'd be okay with that. I'd play it. But I just don't see any reason why they should.
You know what's funny? I feel like that about most games. But I don't know how kids these days look at some of these games when they're like 11 and 12 and they're like, oh,
was that it?
I actually do think Final Fantasy VII could use a remake. Like,
hold up. He's like, I'll give you a tour. Come to the bridge.
This is. Did.
Have you had a good look around?
He's like, did you look around?
That's
yourself?
it. He's not giving me a tour. I'm doing this myself. Anyways.
Yeah, I think 7 could use a remake because I don't think it was well executed in its
even in its
integration
time.
of the
the Final Fantasy 8 and Final Fantasy 9 looked awesome.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy 7 really didn't look super good in my opinion. I mean, I remember playing it even back at the time, and I was like, "This looks so bad." Like the blockiness of the characters was just so. Like, the cutscenes were awesome, but like the FMV cutscenes.
It's just that the backgrounds look perfectly real.
They looked
so it
so
was
real,
like,
and then the character
why
was
is
not
this guy
integrated
so
well with
jacked?
it. Like that's why I love this.
Yeah,
like
'cause
the
it
background
matches.
and the character they match.
See, that's because
And
they try to do a 3D freaking character.
Yeah.
They could have done a sprite in 7.
I
Yeah.
feel like Final Fantasy VII would have looked so much better if they had sprites like this,
like Star Ocean 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really feel like that game would have looked better.
But it
like
wouldn't have been the great, next generation leap like
Yeah.
Marvel that it became.
that. Right.
But it would have been better. Better game. That's the exit of Calamus. That door looks strong. It's a strong door.
Steve
Oh.
Diamond saying the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.0 collection for PS4 comes out next Tuesday. I saw a headline. I didn't read the article, but I saw a headline that said that it was pretty buggy. Like it wasn't a very good port. I hope
For
that's
12?
not true. For 1.5 and 2.5.
Oh, I've heard that it has
Together.
issues. They fix certain things and then, introduced
And then break
other
certain things.
problems. Yeah, but they're patching it. I think there's a patch coming today, and the game comes out tomorrow or today. No, I think the game comes out today. I think that today's when the patch was supposed to be.
You know what game needs
available.
a remake is Quest 64. They had some ideas there that were
You'll
worth
die.
exploring.
Quest. Yep.
Alex is saying best story would be hard for me to choose. It's constantly changing as I reflect on the previous games I've played. It's kind of the same way for me too. Like I did a top 30 video games list, 4 years ago or whatever. And if I were to do it today, it'd be very different. It just changes all the time.
I remember back in the day when we were
What the?
making games and stuff and like working on a game
Edge?
story with Parker.
Yeah.
And we were way into JRPGs at the time. And so a lot of things that are considered tropes now were new things.
They
to
weren't
us.
then, exactly.
And we wrote the most freaking absurd, ridiculous story with like 4 twists back and forth. It was really dumb.
But like that was so cool.
But at the time, it was like, dang, no way, because all the games we were
I
playing
think Xenogears had
a
especially
crazy
just like
twist.
completely popularized that whole
Yeah.
concept. Of
Everyone
just,
was like, oh,
we're gonna
snap.
throw you for a loop and throw
And then
another
loop.
another one. It's like
You'll
what
never
the-
know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that has
Whoa! That's what it looks like when we killed it. That's gross.
become kind of standard for JRPGs, almost expected with their stories. And that's kind of the reason why I think, as I've gotten older, I've started to appreciate more of this, the straightforward, comprehensible stuff,
Yeah.
Which is why I'm enjoying Tactics so much right now. But as a kid, it was like, oh man, Final
What?
Fantasy VII is so sweet,
Yeah, that's the reason I brought that up. Was I as a kid was far more impressed with Seven's story.
Yeah.
And as I got
Yeah.
older and played more games and started realizing, like, yeah, I mean, this isn't bad, but it's not like doing what I thought it was doing.
We have these things called communicators. They let us talk to
Parks'
people
Dump Weed was track 1 on Enema of the State.
I know, but I can't remember.
I don't even know what Enema of the State is.
That's the one with the nurse.
Oh,
on
I
the
need a
cover,
girl
right?
that I
Where
can
she's got
train.
the glove.
Turn your back and run now.
You're in the wrong community for punk music.
Yeah, if that was Enema of the State. No, I swear that one had a different name. Look, no, the Doctor. Ah, crap. That might have been Enema of the State.
sure that.
I thought it was.
Don't be in such a hurry there, miss.
If you want to understand Blink-182, just the phrase Enema of the State.
Enema of the State.
Yeah, it's the one
it
with the
was.
nurse on
Yeah,
it.
you're right. Don't be in such a hurry, miss. The doctor's just getting to that. Dude, I used to listen to every Blink-182 album.
That guy looks
like 10 years.
Kind of funny.
After a thorough investigation, I have isolated and analyzed the pathogen behind the disease.
He sounds like.
Wow, that didn't take long.
He sounds like.
I'm afraid curing this illness is something that's
Gosh
beyond
dang
the
it.
ability of
Emilio Estevez's dad. Gosh freaking dang it.
Martin
Sheen. Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen.
Doesn't he sound like Martin Sheen to you guys?
He does, actually. He totally
The
does.
elusive man, dude.
The elusive man.
Actually, I don't think he is the elusive man. I always get him
Isn't he?
confused.
I thought he was.
I always get. I think maybe it is.
Or is
I get
his
him
son?
confused
Is it,
with somebody else. There's 2 actors.
Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen.
That's his son as well, and Emilio Estevez is his brother.
Right.
Oh wait, no, I know.
But-
Are you? Did you get him confused with the Mission Impossible dude?
Oh, the guy.
What's his name?
Martin
Angelina
Sheen.
Jolie's dad.
Maybe.
I can't remember his name.
There's these 2 actors that I always get confused, and Martin Sheen is the elusive man, right?
Martin Sheen's. Right?
Let's see who. what this dude was. John Voight.
Even if I
John Voight.
You get him confused with John Voight?
I don't think it's John Voight.
in a matter of minutes.
Oh,
I'm pretty
fish.
sure.
There
Wow, I
is
typed that
one
right. Yeah, Martin
possible
Sheen. It's
method,
Martin
however.
Yeah, they have a picture of the elusive man
totally
as
did.
like his icon.
That's funny.
His most
It's like
famous
here's Martin
role.
Sheen sitting in front of like this huge star.
I believe this to be a naturally.
The Elusive Man thing was a nice touch up. Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2, like, there's a lot of stuff they
So if we
improved,
could
and
track
I
down
feel like
the host, the original
that was
dude.
really interesting. And
It's too bad they totally screwed it up in 3. Like they ruined his character. And,
See, I don't
and
know
the entire
anything about
organization.
what had happened.
But
in
in Mass Effect 2, like bringing Cerberus in as like the new sort of enemy to replace Ceres
Yeah.
was like freaking beautifully done.
make
It
the
was
whole
so good.
well, because Mass Effect, the moral ambiguity of like
Yeah.
being able to make these decisions, you could go either way. Like it worked with
Yeah.
the organization.
so well. And I love that they took an organization that seemed sort of just like a, I don't know, like just something that was there. You were always constantly fighting Cerberus in the first game, but it was like there was no depth to it. But then they took it and it's like, no, this is actually
They're
goes
like-
like way deep, and there's like this
Yeah.
whole thing. It like
Yeah,
really
that was
fleshes out the world.
That was the funniest thing in the first game. Every time you go to an outpost, it's like, oh, Cerberus fetched some people here.
Yeah.
Time to kill everyone there.
And then it's like, oh, now this is that same organization that I was just like mindlessly killing the whole time in the first game. It's like there's actually people in this, and they have
that reminds me.
depth to them and nuance in the way that they feel about everything.
I think my favorite mission in the first Mass Effect was one where you're on the moon, on Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can see planet Earth.
Yeah,
like,
so
above you
sick,
driving.
dude.
And I think there
You're
was some
driving around.
Cerberus
I
guy
showed
there.
my dad that. I was telling you about how the only game my dad ever watched me play was Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, check it out. And I was exploring the planets, but I went specifically to the moon so he could look up at Earth.
Yeah.
He was like blown away. He's like, what?
That's
It's so cool.
the anatomy of Rokians. Oh, we have tails.
What do Mass Effect and Borderlands have in common?
Basic organic muscular and nervous systems are highly
I've never
man.
played Borderlands. I
I
don't know.
played Borderlands 1.
one rather striking difference.
Borderlands 1 is like a loot
Their blood?
collecting first person shooter, though.
The structure of their blood vastly differs.
Heon
from
says
our
Genova
own.
is best waifu.
The most obvious point is the hemoglobin. In humans, it is iron-based, but in Rokians, it is copper-based. What are you
Wait.
getting at, Elio?
This is
What's
just
your
a
point?
possibility, but perhaps there is some benefit to petrifying the Rokians.
Is the
after all.
universal
Now explain
relatability
why
of
dropping
games
this
set
bioweapon on their
of
planet.
characters the only key factor that makes a
kind of
game have a
benefit?
good story? Definitely not.
Copper.
Some kind of previously
Definitely not the only
undiscovered
key.
matter, maybe.
Queen Braun, best wife.
Queen Braun. Oh man.
A weapon?
I remember the first time I saw her.
That's
I was
a
like
tough
wanted
choice.
to throw up. I was like, oh my gosh,
best-
that is disgusting.
Genova or
Queen
Queen
Braun.
Braun, best waifu, dude.
Oh, jeez. We need to put that a poll on Patreon.
There is
Seriously.
that possibility.
We need to settle
In
this.
particular, I'm talking about something that's invisible. Something that
Crisis
we
Core
don't
2
show
remake
on
Gold
our
Saucer
sensors.
Genova date.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and if you play your cards right, then like the game just ends right there.
Oh,
To make
jeez.
some kind of weapon for themselves?
That's what I
How
call
mean
it.
of them.
We can't say that for sure yet.
We can't say for sure yet.
Steve Diamond says Kuja is best waifu.
Kuja's
Kuja's
a little
best
more
something.
normal looking. It would certainly explain a lot of things, though.
If that's the case, then they must
Hey,
be
Giselle, got off work early.
smoke. Let's
So I
check
get
that
to
place
watch
back out
live
first.
for the first time.
Be on the bridge.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Glad you made it.
Doctor, run a simulation to see if petrifying their blood results in some sort of
Queen
matter
Braun
that
is
can be
thick.
used for our-
Oh,
Are
man.
you sure? We're talking tens of thousands of combinations.
There's no other way. We've got to find out.
Very well.
Duh, duh, duh. Let's have to do that so you know the game didn't just
This
freeze
is
or
what I get for
something.
whining.
Like, no,
Yeah.
he's thinking. Trust us.
We're taking time, yeah.
What are you talking about? You know this isn't your fault.
Well, I don't know.
Do I? Do I?
I mean, look at me. If I just had more power, then maybe I could have done something.
Exactly.
The captain wants you on the bridge.
Don Corneo, best waifu.
He does sound like Emilio Estevez, dude. A little bit
Yeah.
to me. I just
Yeah.
watched some Mighty Ducks clips like last night.
Oh,
Really?
Like,
Oh,
totally
God.
sounds like that.
Dude,
They're
Mighty
surprised.
Ducks. That was so huge.
What a great movie.
Mighty
Dude,
Ducks. What
best, the
concept.
best. What concept?
Wasn't there a Ducks TV show, an animated
There
TV
was.
show?
It was awesome, dude.
Oh,
I
yeah,
watched,
they
I
were
watched some
ducks.
clips from that
They
last
were
night too.
ducks.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
They were fetching. It was like a sci-fi.
That's like the
dude.
same time as
I remember they had
Ducks.
that duck too,
Yep.
and he was like this beastly, weird, like
Well,
gold duck.
They were all ducks, and then he had like the gold
Ah.
mask he would put on
Put
and
on
like,
yeah.
transform him into like a
Yeah,
beast.
that's what I'm
And
thinking.
then
of.
they had like the plane. That was the coolest part. They had like it was big like a spaceship, but like a plane that had the same hockey mask from the logo of the Mighty Ducks hockey team.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
That was so sick. That show was awesome.
My gosh, Disney went all in on the duck stuff in the 90s.
Yeah, and then
dude.
they sold
had
the team.
Darkwing
They
Duck.
sold
They
it.
sold the team,
Duck.
and now they have like no
That's it.
affiliation with
Really?
like the
Really?
the whole
They don't
90s
know
Mighty
that
Duck
any
stuff.
part of-
Their
'Cause
jerseys are freaking
they moved
boring
into
now.
Anaheim. They're
Yeah.
in Anaheim.
They're in Anaheim. They're still in Anaheim,
Mighty
but the
Ducks.
team was sold for like Disney doesn't own them anymore, and so all of that stuff is gone. Like all that
Really?
iconic,
They're just normal
like,
ducks now.
yeah,
They're like the
symbolism,
Oregon Ducks.
No,
just-
Oregon Ducks.
It just they have like these puke brown goldish uniforms
Weird.
with some like really boring, just really boring uniforms.
Huh. I always thought it was weird that they were a hockey team.
I'll be right there.
Yeah, man.
Begin with
Disney
that
was
had the
they went
logos
all
from,
in
like,
on
the
the Mighty Ducks,
movies.
dude. They were like,
That
We're
that
pushing this
is
all the way.
guerrilla marketing at its finest. There literally is a hockey
Blade is
team
in critical condition.
called the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, I wasn't into hockey, and so I was pretty amazed to find out that was an actual team.
Dorn.
Don.
Captain. There's something
CP says Don Corneo best waifu.
Kina best both lists.
If I'm going to die, I want it to happen in my own
If Genova is best waifu, then Lavos is best boy.
Die.
B-O-I,
asleep
boy.
for a bit.
He's that boy, dude.
If I want to sleep for a bit.
Getting deep into the memes here.
All right. Get the transporter ready.
This guy looks like he should, or sounds like he should be older.
Please, let us go back with Dorn.
Darn!
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll come back. We promise.
Adam Shootin says they changed from the Mighty Ducks to just the Ducks. Okay.
No.
That's right.
right.
It says Anaheim Ducks.
Anaheim Ducks, yeah.
On
very
the
much.
Thank you
ones now.
so much.
Who would ever, like, once you have control of the word mighty, who would ever?
Who would ever relinquish that, dude?
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is totally Star Trek.
Yeah,
Yes, Captain.
it's the same setup.
What do they call it? The
Their
The
what is
transportation
it?
deck.
what do they call
What do
that?
they call it?
It's
in the
the
show?
something
Fuck.
deck, but I can't remember.
Holodeck. Yeah.
Holodeck is.
Oh, that's
Not
the
the
thing
same
where they're.
thing.
It's not the
they
holodeck.
go
It's
somewhere else.
the something deck.
Man, I don't remember.
Oh, they beamed him right into his bed under the covers and everything.
Wow, in the right position. and
That's
everything.
beautiful.
Now you get to take his
Oh,
music
man.
box.
Gallius is
This
asking
music
when I'm
box.
going to release my top 10 best video game waifus list video.
Jeez.
If I do that, I probably
By April
will,
1st.
I probably will do Queen Braun and Genova and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just to get people to click on it. I'll put a picture of like I don't know. Who should I pick as like something really divisive that people will click on just so they can hate on like Tifa or something.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah.
And it's like a picture of like a really sexy Tifa as a thumbnail,
But this is
and then
your
they'll come in and
sister's.
it'll be like Queen Braun.
Queen Braun,
Or
Genova.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Have
for
them
you.
all be
That would
like,
pretty
have them all be
hilarious.
like typical guesses all the way up to number one. The number one's to Queen Braun out of
Queen
nowhere.
Braun.
Just hit him with it.
Take it. Please.
But I'm gonna do it totally
You already
seriously. I'm
took
gonna
it.
like talk about their qualities, like why they would make a great wife, like just totally like.
Well, Braun's
Totally.
she's a red, you know. She's a go-getter. She knows what she wants. She knows how to get it, and
I don't know if
she'd
she
be a
knows
great
how to
wife.
get it though. That's the thing.
Okay, maybe she doesn't know how to get it. She knows how to try to get it.
You could almost make a whole channel out of that, like
That actually would be pretty
where
funny.
it just betrays expectations, like making fun of the whole idea of list videos on YouTube or something. Kind of the same way that How To Basic makes fun of how to
Right.
Oh yeah.
stuff, and just like Anyway.
Should do a top 10 channel that makes fun of all top 10.
Yep.
3.
Yeah, 2B pick as clickbait. That'd be perfect, actually.
many of
2B,
those
there you go.
nowadays.
Planet Earth
Especially
shortly.
right now.
There's a room set up for you, so feel free to
See, Pashpi, the 3D platformer genre disappeared when video game mascots essentially disappeared. Because the mascots weren't as popular, and the genre wasn't as popular. They just both kind of went away together. The only thing that's keeping it alive is freaking Mario, I swear.
Beautiful.
Izanami
It's
from
like an
Persona 4 would
ocean
be a
of
great one.
stars.
It is. Can we see it, please?
We're now entering
Ah.
orbit.
Nope.
Report
Don't
to
wanna open
Terran
it up.
Alliance HQ.
Terran Alliance.
Of course, the freaking Terran.
Yeah, the Terran link with Blizzard confirmed. This is in the StarCraft
When you meet the
universe.
Zerg.
The Zerg. That's what those worm things are, dude. Oh, fetch! And we're the ones that noticed it, not the ship people.
Where?
Not their
What are you
radar.
talking about?
Or whatever they use in space.
Oh, see, they can't see what we can see. Okay. Huh. Am I supposed to
Dude,
do something?
Do you know who I got to put on the best waifu list? Is what are the names? The witches from Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
Kyoing, Kotake, or whatever.
yeah.
Kotake.
I don't think so, Captain.
They totally gotta be on that list.
Any gravitational oscillation beforehand.
I have a very calm
I
voice
told
for
you
that
it was
guy.
coming.
That you
You
did.
were able to see it, Roddick? That's it. It's made of invisible matter.
That's what they're mining from Roke.
The entire ship?
Captain, the unidentified ship that just appeared is hailing us.
Open a channel.
We come as emissaries from Lazonia. We have no desire to fight. Repeat.
Don't repeat, please. Thank you.
So, you're saying that Lazonia wants to sign an armistice with us?
That is correct.
The old lady from Final Fantasy X that screams, "Stay away from the summoner!" Better be on that waifu.
We were not
on that
willing
waifu.
participants in the war against Earth.
Hollow Knight. Well, someone was talking to us about Hollow Knight, Park. I'm trying to remember who it was. It's Metrovania, though. It's gotta be good.
Oh yeah, the witches from The Witcher 3. Yeah, those are good. What do they call them? The crones. The crones.
They were the ones responsible
Yeah,
for
they're
the
pretty
destruction
fetched
of
up
planet
looking.
East.
They're like the Hag
half a
Ravens
year
from
earlier.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Well.
Like
That's
he
a
says,
problem.
it's the Klingons.
Oh
Kinda
yeah.
looks like a warbird, huh?
Oh, sick. Dot dot dot.
We have little idea what their goals are, but they have provided us with a wealth of new technology.
Is he talking right now, or one of these guys? Okay.
He is,
It's
I
like,
think.
what the freak?
I think I understand what's happening.
Regarding the
Queen,
viral
what was her
weapons
name?
dropped on planet Rogue, we would like you to
Shala
provide us
and
with either a
Magus'
vaccine or
mom
the
from
original
Chrono
host
Trigger.
of the disease, if you could.
What's her freaking name?
I don't
Queen.
remember.
Queen.
From what game?
Something
I'm
from Chrono
afraid
Trigger.
we cannot.
Oh, I can't.
Forget.
We know that the virus has its origin.
She's a terrible
in
person, but I don't think
Asmodeus,
she's unattractive
A
by
creature
any
that
means.
lived on planet Rogue 300 years ago.
Asmodeus? That's the Archfiend. The monster that was defeated in the demonic wars.
Was it defeated?
Mother Brain, best wife.
Stuff of legend.
Favorite animes. We really like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo.
Great show.
You guys remember Wolf's Rain back in the day?
Yeah, that was cool too. We never finished it though.
I really
saw
liked.
like 20 episodes.
I really liked Yu Yu Hakusho back in the day.
If there's no ready
Yu
solution to the
Hakusho.
problem, we'll simply have to quarantine.
Cowboy Bebop.
Hey, anybody want to complain about the
Best
Death
show
Note Netflix show? You want to complain about that?
Anybody need a place to binge?
Anyone who's pissed about that, just go fetch and watch the Japanese live action one they made.
I know they made one. So, and this is part of the
Ellie
whole
from
issue
Marvel
where it's
64.
like
That is
we
legit.
we want like someone to blame. So it's like, oh, let's blame Hollywood or Netflix or whoever cast the movie, but it's like you didn't watch the Japan one. Like, you weren't clamoring. They made one. You didn't support it. There is a Netflix. It just came out, or not Netflix. There is a Death Note live action that came out just last year that it has a full Japanese cast, and you didn't watch it. So that is like, you know, talk about voting with your wallet kind of thing.
It's true. It's like, oh, you're paying attention to this one.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like, no.
Well, I'm not surprised Wolf Train had said.
Look in the mirror. That's yeah.
Parker said Ellie from Harvard 64.
Oh,
That's
I can imagine.
for real. Like, that is the number one.
She is the best.
Dude, she'll feed your chickens.
Literal
man.
wife in a video game.
Like, for real. I've never ever imagined marrying a character from a video game. I mean, obviously we're all joking about it because it's a weird thing in general. But Ellie from Harvard 64, that's legit. I wish she was real, dude.
Totally. And also, this is a little too close for these
Yeah,
sprites.
this is
holy.
See what Mike was saying before about how the sprites blend so well.
Crap.
They don't.
It breaks right here when you get this close. We've done so much, traveled all this way to help out our friends.
They should zoom in on the eye so you can see that emotion. See, her head is almost as tall as her head in the
flat.
portrait. That's.
Oh dang, yeah.
Oh, it is the consumers because it's what markets well. It's like what gives people's attention. A person who has a well-known name, established name.
Exactly.
And then they go and see it.
It's
and
exactly.
That's it. It works.
It's all the consumers. Like, don't find somebody to blame for this stuff. Like, blame yourself. You're not watching the things that are being made the way that you claim to, you know, want them. Not you.
We're saying you to the people who are complaining.
To the people who and if you're complaining, then that's fine. And if you did watch the Japanese one and you're upset about the Netflix one, sure, whatever.
We can do.
That's cool.
But apologize.
I probably won't be watching either. So
Ghost in
the
the Shell
Netflix
this
one
weekend,
looks a little
right?
weird. Oh yeah, Ghost in the Shell
Or is
comes
it
out
next
this weekend.
weekend?
I thought it was March.
Oh, I think it might be. It is March, but I think it's next week.
Oh, March like 30th or something.
There is one option.
You're bored because
Yeah, Human was saying he wished that they just told another story somewhere else with the Death Note rather than retelling Light and L's story.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
that would work with it, right?
Yeah, I think that would be cool because then you
because
could
the
have
note
it take
goes
place
somewhere else
in
right?
Seattle or some other place and just another person gets a Death Note. You know, new story.
Perfect.
And then another genius detective child from another country fetching.
And then another genius detective child comes and you know replaces him, and that's just how it works.
But sir,
there's still another option?
well, I hesitate to call it that, but if we use the time gate on planet Styx, there's
There's time travel, of course.
But Captain,
I first found out about Death Note in a store in Japan. They were selling Death Notes. They looked exactly like in the anime, and I was like, "What the fetch is this?" Like, what? Are they? I didn't know it was like from a show. It was like it just says Death Note, and it's just a blank notebook. It says Death Note. Like, what is this crap?
It's your Death Notebook.
Well, I have. Let us through.
Parker didn't like Death Note, anyways.
I think it's good. I did not like it.
Death Note's
but
awesome
I
to
thought
like
it was good.
a point, and then it gets to a point where it's like
it's a bit ridiculous.
Well, it's kind of like the twist thing we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
With some JRPGs where it's like a twist and a twist and a twist.
Close the entry hatch.
Yeah.
After a while, it
It's
just
a good
is
show,
a little
though.
exhausting, but
yeah.
I really like the first season of Death
The
Note.
first season's killer. And the second season's intro song is killer.
Are two people enough for this?
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
not.
The computer
Oh
wants to
yeah.
do work.
like he's gonna buy a Switch when Fire Emblem comes out for it. So you're talking about the actual Fire Emblem or the Fire Emblem Warriors that comes out this year?
Yeah. How to explain it? Basically, they're these tools that help people out with the difficult parts of their jobs.
I was trying to decide if they apostrophe R works here, but I guess it kind of does if he's referring to.
Yeah.
That's funny. I thought he was supposed to say there
Let's get this thing
are.
off the ground.
And so when I read it, that just was weird to me.
Mom, you're totally
Realize,
spoiling
Captain,
it.
that going to planet Styx is all but guaranteeing ourselves a court-martial.
You can't write spoiler after the spoiler and have it like.
Yeah.
First arc of Death Note was great. Second arc.
Yep, worst case scenario, we'll all be in a
Final arc
labor
was
camp
awful.
for the rest of our lives, but too late to turn back now.
It's actually one of those stories. What made it a little difficult towards the end was how they, not like they broke the rules, but there were rules about it you didn't know.
Exactly,
about
and we didn't know
earlier.
them until season 2,
And then
basically.
you find out the rule later, and then you're like, wait, what?
Because there, I mean, when you think about it, there was no other way that show could have ended, because these characters are just perfect geniuses, and like
they anticipated
kind of had to
You don't have
come
to
about through
apologize.
some
I may
weird
have a ton of
technicality.
bad luck, but that doesn't mean I'm reluctant to visit Planet Styx.
I complain about how people spend their money is in
I'll
no way
follow
stopping
wherever you
anyone
go,
from using
Captain.
their money as they
Just
please.
try not to leave me astray, all right?
I don't understand.
I suppose, but if you build a movement, I mean, I do think that we're eventually going to see, like my sister-in-law has been really vocal on social media about the Ghost in the Shell situation, and
really?
and I see her friends commenting about it too, and they're all like very, very, very vocal about it. So to some degree, and they're not in the. I mean, she watched anime growing up, but they're not super part of that community.
They're not
per
part of
se.
the market, so yeah, that's kind of funny.
I don't know if they.
We
Yeah,
stumbled
they're
upon
all
it during an earlier
extremely
deep
upset
space
about it.
exploration mission.
I get why if the character was Asian.
They say
But
that
the character
Planet
wasn't
Styx
Asian
home to a
originally.
vastly advanced civilization,
It's a freaking
long before
cyborg.
we
It's
humans even made it.
Right,
It's a
just
it's a
some-
freaking
Well, I know.
robot.
Even the director of the original is like, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. There's
That's
no
not
ethnicity.
even. He's
That's
like
not the point.
We couldn't establish an ethnicity.
The Time Gate. We'll use it to visit Roke.
But that actually illustrates the degree to which people do really heavily rely on constructs of race and stuff to define interactions with other humans.
Yeah,
Very
which is a net negative, I think.
Right. It's an easy
But
way
it's
to
true,
define
everyone does it,
An
yeah.
in-group and an out-group. But
Yeah.
it causes some problems in the process.
In so many words, yes.
We still
In
haven't
too many
fully
words, yes.
unraveled how the time gate works.
Sukash saying,
It's too
I thought you said
dangerous
Mike
to
was
mess
fired.
with, so it's been made
Well,
strictly off
he
limits.
got over his allergies and his allergies unfired him.
Oh yeah, Mike's on fire.
Steve Diamond says, "What's the problem with Scarlett Johansson?"
Nothing.
I don't think there is any problem.
She's a good actress. There's no problem.
We'll be within orbiting range of Planet Styx
Ain't,
shortly.
ain't her fault she's not Asian.
The world does need a He-Man live-action Netflix series, actually. That's a good point, Ian.
Will it let us in, though? The Time Gate, Guardian. The living gate.
The living gate.
So this whole sequence from the time you got warped up to like where you are now.
According to the Lazonian emissary,
Is this
the
about
mysterious
an
third
hour,
party
maybe?
obtained the virus.
We've only been playing for an hour.
No. From when you
Oh,
got
sorry.
warped up to the ship.
I've lost time.
12:37.
I do
so I'm
not know.
Sure at what point you got warped up.
Probably less, maybe like 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Apparently, it all happened several hundred years ago.
That it did. The level of technology they have must outclass anything we could even imagine. We'll have to travel through time to a point before they visited Roke and collect a portion of the
Willem
host
Dafoe's
story.
Duke actually is pretty interesting.
For what?
Willem Dafoe's
Assuming,
Duke.
of
The
course.
shoes.
Oh yeah. I think that's very interesting.
O Guardian of the Time Gate.
Saw the first half or so of the movie through a preview deal, or acting was not good. How do you see the first half? Holy shit.
That would be a hard role to play, I think. Being a
We wish to visit Roke
sort of
as it
emotionless
was in olden
person.
times.
I've seen the anime. The voice actress does a good job, I guess, but
Why the crap is when
It's
it
just
comes across the
different.
string? Why is it so much more contrasty? I don't understand.
am the gatekeeper.
It's saturated. It's so weird.
Your request has been granted.
Hey, Walrus!
Let us open the
Finally, a game you're playing that I actually beat.
oh sick.
We need to leave our weapons and communicators here before we enter. If you bring them along, you'll bounce off the gate.
Parker, I can't get Deadly Premonition to run on my computer.
Well,
It
here we
crashes
go. I
before the
hope
game
you're
even
not
starts.
making a mistake by entering the gate, because
never
once we
gotten it
go
to work a
inside,
single
there's no
time.
turning back.
I wouldn't be too surprised if that was by design.
Wait, there's no turning back once going inside. We're stuck 300 years in the past.
Just hang
A
tight,
50-minute
Thor.
preview. That's
We're gonna
really
save
long.
you, but you gotta hang on.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. They're going to go back in time 300 years to the time when this monster was supposedly defeated and like taken off of the planet, and they're going to find out that they were the ones that defeated it 300 years ago, and they're the reason it doesn't exist anymore. It's a paradox. So, does the monster exist or not? That's the real question. Oh, fetch.
Thank you, Roddick.
Are you sure you're all right? We must hurry. The gate is.
Yeah, Alien Brain. I mean, it would be interesting to see somebody not like we haven't seen in a lot of other movies already, but that's the problem. Is you hear the name Scarlett Johansson,
and
then
you hear the movie's going to sell.
Rinko Kikuchi, and most people are going to like the name Scarlett Johansson's just going to grab.
And here's the thing: even in Japan, like when people talk about like a list of like the highest grossing films in Japan, there's a few Ghibli anime on there, but for the most part, they're all American movies. They're Titanic, Avatar. Like, all the Harry Potter movies are up there. Like, the most famous actors in Japan are not Japanese actors. They're American actors.
Tommy Lee Jones, dude. He's in all those Japanese commercials.
Totally.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is, too.
And so, in a sense, like, you know, they're taking the most popular actor in Japan, which is Scarlett Johansson.
Park saying Deadly Premonition, it would have to be the console version. The PC port was garbage. Apparently, it's so garbage, it won't even launch.
It won't even run. It won't even run at
I
all.
don't see them anywhere. They should be around here.
Our friend?
Somebody was asking about how we met. We met in 1999 in Arizona. We moved into the same neighborhood.
Yep. Picked a good place to appear. Let's go look for them in this village first.
Where's
This
the
is
key
correct.
master? This is not the original of this game.
No, this is the PSP
Hang on.
remake.
I just realized this outfit probably isn't going to work here.
Change.
You're right. You'd stick out like a sore thumb.
They talk about their voice transcoding, translating devices yet.
Oh, it's
No.
big deal, is it?
Even in Star Ocean 2, they hadn't talked about it in the
Really?
time I had played, yeah.
It sure is a big deal. Go find some clothing for me in town, could you?
Steve, it's PC port of
Thanks.
Deadly Premonition. If you've never heard of that game,
It's great.
you should look up some stuff. It's really
Well,
crazy.
first, I gotta find some women's
Oh, and that
clothing.
Parker was showing us. What was that game Parker was showing us?
Krat.
By the same developers.
The Village of Krat, dude.
Another Steam game. Oh my gosh, it is Krat.
Krat. Everyone here
what was
better
it?
have a Krat.
And there was that woman who thought she was a cat, and she was acting like a cat, and then there's another detective guy.
Oh, the one Parker showed us. Yeah, that
Gosh,
was
what was
weird,
that?
dude. That was weird.
Oh no,
It
that's
looked
the
fun.
Japanese game.
Yeah.
And then they did a video on it on
What was it called?
Mega 64.
They did?
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was called.
I thought it was by
Parker
the same
will know.
people who made Deadly Premonition.
I think it is.
Did you know?
Dude, what was that called?
Had a really generic,
really,
name, that's
really
the thing.
weird game. I can't remember the name of it.
A lot of like QuickTime events that were like for really dumb things.
Oh, Alien Brain, you're totally right. The Shin Godzilla was big in Japan this year.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Shin Godzilla did win a bunch of awards just last week.
Yeah, that's true. That's
They're
true.
gonna make a
Although,
sequel.
ask me any of the actors' names, and I wouldn't be able to say it, unfortunately. But
Yeah, that movie was sweet.
yeah, we're not saying a film with Japanese cast can't win awards. Like,
It's just tough
it's
when
just the most famous actors in Japan aren't Japanese.
when you're talking about a movie that is supposed to be a global thing. You know, it's like what
Yeah.
names have the most global appeal.
Oh, totally.
It's tough. Right now,
Ask
obviously
about
that
clothes.
needs to change. We've talked about this freak so many times, but
Lying around. Would you mind letting me have some women's clothes?
Scarlett Johansson is in Lost in Translation.
This
That's
is
right.
funny. Well, I thought somebody. Oh. She was in crap. What's that Ewan McGregor film where they're like the insurance policies?
Oh, that's Michael Bay film.
Yeah, Michael Bay. Before he became what we all know Michael Bay as today. Crap.
Forget the name of that movie as well.
The Island. The Island.
Yeah,
with Sean Bean.
Okay.
Scarlett Johansson did a pretty good job there.
That's a movie where they took some of the action sequences and put them into Transformers.
I have a question. I wasn't paying attention. Did I just get clothes from her or not?
Oh crap! I'm seeing the delayed version.
I think she
wonder
did.
how my
She gave me
daughter's doing.
clothes.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. Shin Gojira
I've got your clothes.
is
Here
a
you go.
political commentary.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
it's helpful if you understand what's going on with Japan's government right now. But even if you don't, it's still a great movie. But if you understand that, because it's a freaking satire, the whole thing. And when I first heard that, I was like, a disaster movie that's a satire sounds like really risky, but
Yeah.
it's totally did
It
it.
works if you understand what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah,
A
Your
lot of
Name-
Americans probably wouldn't get it.
And Alien Brain, Your Name's coming out in the U.S. Like next month.
Yeah,
I think
finally.
freaking
Sorry to
finally.
complain, but this is just too small.
Chocolate Rob says, well, you're past the intro of the game
I'll
proper.
just
You
go
have a
like this.
clear idea of your purpose and the shape of the game. In Star Ocean 2, you never really get that
Are you
until
sure?
well over halfway.
Well, there's
I
nothing
didn't
else
like
can
need
do.
it though
I can't
because
go back to
and you played the
normal.
girl's side, so it's totally different. But from the guy's side, it was a total accident that he was even there in the first place. So for me, learning the purpose of like why is my character here, that didn't really come to my mind as much because it's like, oh, I know why he's here. It's a freaking mistake. It was a total accident. So thinking like, I don't know. From the guy's side, it made
Anyway,
a little more
let's
sense to
hurry.
me.
We need to stock up on supplies and rendezvous with the captain.
Himon
she's
saying,
just going anyways.
that's
That's
why
so
I'm
funny.
afraid
Sure what
Ghost in the
you're
Shell
doing here.
2017 will become a generic ScarJo sci-fi movie. I don't think it has anything to do with the actor, whether it becomes
Yeah, I don't
generic.
either.
It has everything to do with the director.
Yeah.
And
You know who is directing this? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have to look into that. But whether a movie turns out to be great or not has very little to do, in my opinion,
Right.
with the actors.
The actors sell it, right? They
Yeah.
sell the movie.
And actors' talent is very often brought out of them by a good director.
Totally.
And you could have a great actor in a really bad movie that doesn't give a good performance. I think Liam Neeson in Phantom Menace is a great example. Like,
Yeah, in fact, all the actors in those prequel Star Wars, like
yeah,
Natalie
Portman won
Portman.
an Oscar for
Black Swan.
Black Swan.
But have you seen
But
her
she
in
sucks in Star Wars.
Leon the Assassin as well? Back when she was like 12, she's a freaking phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
And somehow she took a
Like,
step backwards with.
A good director and competent editors can make an actor, even who's just average, look really great and can pull the best performance out of them. So
Oh, fish! The game broke.
whether
Okay.
whether a movie has a generic feel, I don't think it has anything to do with the actors.
Yeah, it's
everything
this-
to do with the filmmakers.
the director, and more increasingly lately, like the studio, the producers.
Yeah.
Who just want a hit every movie. They insert themselves way too much into the process. Oh, fish. Give me some of that. Blueberries. Get tons of blueberries.
Pash, there are two Sperry brothers that aren't on the show because they don't live in the state and they do other things.
Yeah.
And then Mike's got
two brothers
and a sister.
and a sister.
That also aren't. But I don't know. Steve's been on the show before.
Steve's been on our podcast.
Steve has?
We'd have him more often.
Yeah.
If he wants to be here.
He's busy playing Mass Effect Andromeda right now.
I think he just finally beat Zelda.
Oh, did he?
And now he's working on Mass Effect.
Hey, Shiny Cloud, what's up?
What the heck? What the doorways are like all of a sudden not working very well in this game.
You have to press a button to open the door.
No, you just walk into the space. No, but she went up here. Hold on. I have a different idea. Well, this is like in the same location as our town. Weird.
Yeah, I would say that Ewan McGregor was the only actor in the prequels that, like, despite the bad directing, still offered good
Yeah, like you wouldn't
performance.
necessarily need to change his performance.
Yeah.
He
I
was-
think
he was
in,
great.
in
Oh, man.
episode 3, like the best part of the movie is his reaction to seeing Anakin burning there,
You were
and
my
and
brother.
hit the
Yeah.
emotion that comes from him. I still feel it despite the
It's good.
execution of that whole scene being so
When
bad.
he says like you were my brother.
Yeah, like,
that's yeah.
You really feel
It's
that
powerful.
from him, and his excellence as an actor outshines all of the bad direction. throughout those movies, really. Even though he has a lot of really lame lines too.
I know he really does. He really does.
I mean, he's the one that says only cis
his
deal in
bridge is here.
absolutes and like a bunch of really stupidly written lines.
Oh, what a pain!
But he
But
overcomes
they look
all
the
that.
same.
But like, you know, that can't be said of Natalie Portman.
There's
That
a
can't be
run
said
button. I can't remember
of
what it is.
shoot. I just mentioned him from the first movie.
Liam
Neeson, like just
Right, sure,
just
sure.
the flattest, most dialed in, like
Yeah.
like just does not care, not dialed in, phoned in performance like of all time, and he's a phenomenal actor. So.
That's funny. Phoned in and dialed in. It's like
It's
kind of
the same thing, but
they
it means
mean
totally
opposite.
different things.
Oh, whoops.
Dialed in means you're all there. Phoned in means I don't give a crap.
English is hard, man.
It really is.
Have you seen Mean Girls? Yes. Have seen Mean Girls. Great
Yep.
movie.
It's funny as fetch.
I've never seen it.
It's pretty
It's a
good.
good
It's
movie.
funny.
I've been saying fetch. I would say
Since before Mean Girls.
15
Just
years
put it
before that
way.
movie came out.
Yeah.
When did that movie come out?
2004-ish, yeah.
2003.
We'll go with 4.
I'll say like at least 12 years. At least more than a decade
First
since
thing
before that
we
movie
do
came
is
out.
visit
I've
all
been
the
saying
nearby
fetch.
settlements. The captain's bound to turn up in one of them.
Okay, we're looking for the captain. That's what we're doing.
By the way, if you guys
Oh,
like
no.
Star Wars memes, there's a freaking hilarious subreddit called Prequel Memes. They make memes out of all the prequel bad lines and crap, and it's freaking hilarious.
You know,
That's
Alien,
funny.
Alien Brain, I actually didn't like Ian McDonald in the prequels. I felt like it wasn't just dialed to 11, it was dialed to like 1,000. Like the line, like, now, 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 you will die. It's like this, it's just so, I don't know, man. It's way too much for me. I didn't feel he was very good.
Yeah, he peaked in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. That was peak of his career.
But you know, my opinion of the Emperor as a character in general is like he's not a very good villain. He's not very compelling. It's just like he is the embodiment of evil.
Yeah, we
but
talked
no
about
other.
this on the podcast. He's literally just a force.
Yeah.
Like, and so the more you show him or try
Wow.
to center a story around him, the weaker that story's gonna be. Because it's like,
But
no,
like,
he's just got to be the big bad.
yeah, like in the original trilogy at least. I mean, not the original trilogy. Mostly in Return of the Jedi. I thought his voice was pretty good. Like he still had these very exaggerated inflations, but none of it felt silly. And in the prequels, I felt it was really silly. Like I did not take him. He did not feel scary to me as a villain.
I think it didn't help that he could like jump and fly around like he was super
Yeah.
mobile.
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
just like, what the crap?
People writing unlimited power. That's another one. Yeah.
By the way, one thing in Star Ocean 1, the water reflected, and you could see your characters in the reflection, and it was super cool.
Oh snap!
Just saying.
Or in Star Ocean 2.
Star Ocean 2. That's what I meant. I'm like...
Hey, see Skellahart!
Do you think the new Star Wars movies has the likelihood of being just as bad or silly as the prequels? I don't think in the same way.
I just think they'll be just less creative.
They call
Yeah,
it
play it safe.
here in the sticks. Wasn't that supposed to be STYX? Or do you call it the
You know,
sticks?
technically with that saying, I don't know, actually.
I've never...
Maybe
I've always
it means,
imagined...
like out like in the boondocks, like out in the
Yeah.
sticks.
I heard you were looking for someone to run an errand for you.
Yeah, I think the new Star Wars movies feel like Star Wars. Like they capture the sort of atmosphere of the original trilogy well, but they're just, to me, very uncreative storytelling.
Well, I'll let you know if I find anyone.
So I actually prefer them over the prequel trilogy, but I felt like the prequel trilogy was at least trying to tell interesting stories.
Well,
Right.
the prequel trilogy, what they actually did okay was a little bit of world building. Like, they fleshed out some places you'd always heard of and you wanted to see, and not in, like,
heard you
a
needed
necessarily
someone to do a
bad
run
way.
on
Like,
the
the
border
idea of Naboo is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
Coruscant,
Coruscant's sweet.
Coruscant, I wish more had taken place on Coruscant.
Yeah.
Like, in the slums and crap, but...
I know in the beginning of episode 2, there's a little bit of that.
Yeah. With the death sticks.
You want some death
Some
sticks?
death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks. I want to go home and rethink my life. That was wonderful. Except the line right before that is, I'd never kill you, Liam Neeson. You're the closest thing I have to a father.
Chocolate Rob, yeah, I really like that video.
Oh, no.
That's
Sorry,
an interesting
Ewan McGregor,
channel,
not Liam Neeson.
especially for localization stuff. I've been following him for a while, but I hadn't seen that one on Vagrant Story. Kind of interesting. It's interesting in some video games where the localization has to take into account the space they have to write something, and they don't have the space to write the technical translation. They have to make up something new. I thought it was a pretty creative solution, but I don't know.
Well,
I guess
we'll come back later
might
then.
lose a little something there.
Welcome.
Let's see your tools. Do you have a real weapon?
You know what's kind of ironic is that
Stone Cure! It's right here! Stone Cure!
Oh snap! You have 100 of them. Oh, he has 100.
He has 100. Let's buy these. Manufacture like 1,000,000 trillion of them. Come back. Like,
Save
problem
the planet.
solved. We literally just solved the entire game right here. I might have a problem with this. This is part of where the game mechanics and the like gameplay, the story and gameplay not quite meshing. Yeah. This is, I think they should have called this Petrify, but they called it Stone, so it's their fault. Harmonica.
Bad localization ruined it.
Bad localization.
Killboy, for the most part, we're enjoying it so far. I like this better than Star Ocean 2, personally.
Sure.
But I love the look of the game. I think it's amazing.
Hey,
I think they're very comparable for me.
That's the conspiracy theory that like Darth Vader hated sand so much, so they put Luke on a place with sand.
Yeah, I've been hearing that
still,
lately.
no matter what you say, it doesn't make any freaking sense that they put him on Tatooine.
Where he was born. Where Darth Vader was born.
You got a galaxy, man.
And lived for a long time and knows a lot of people.
Like, the prequel trilogies the prequel trilogy just did so much that just made everything in Star Wars even sillier than it already was. And I don't know, like, he didn't have to live on Tatooine. Like, Anakin did not have to live on
He
Tatooine.
did not.
That did not have to be his birthplace.
I know, that's what screwed it up.
Jakku.
There's
Put
just
him
no
on Jakku.
reason to do
Apparently
that.
there's a planet
no
called
reason.
Jakku. It's sandy and it's the same planet.
What was the sand planet in freaking
In Rogue
Rogue
One?
One? What was that?
Gosh dang it. There's another one. I don't remember.
There's always gonna be a sand freaking planet.
There's
in
1,000
this
sand
game, or
planets.
in these movies. These sand planet.
Castle wants to know if we should all be hyped for Persona 5. Asking Landon.
Yes, you should.
If you like turn-based RPGs, you should be super hyped for Persona 5 because they're proving that it can still be exciting, I think.
And if you like Japan.
I also, my favorite thing that they've done in that game so far is implement the gun. I'm trying to think what other turn-based game I played where you have a gun. Freaking heck, what is it? You have like a gun as an option that does a different type of damage.
Oh, like
there's
Bloodborne?
Well, I'm just thinking
Bloodborne, totally.
turn-based. There's a game
These aren't
that's out
weapons,
there
are
that
they?
I can't think of right now. But anyways, that change alone actually for me added enough depth to the turn-based battle system that it made it a lot better for me because honestly, I didn't really like the battle system, or rather, I didn't like battling in Persona 4 Golden that much. It was actually my least favorite thing to do in the whole game.
Oh, that's cheap as fish.
So, for me, they improved that, and the other parts of it are just as strong as
It's gonna break.
previous games. So I think if you like those, you're gonna like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, if you hate time management games, yeah, sure. If you don't like, you can only do this stuff in this day or whatever. If you don't like any of that.
Oh, great. You again. Ooh, stop messing with me.
Muhammad, I have only played Persona 4 Golden, and I played the first Shin Megami Tensei.
Look, you guys are adventurers, right?
And that is it. So I don't have really extensive experience with all the Persona games.
I mean, if that was really an
And then Persona 5.
masterpiece or whatever, it would look more like a well, it wouldn't look like that. Well, anyway, just keep
Mikey, Heon already wrote that down there, but I was about to say the same thing. The battles in turn-based RPGs are abstract interpretations of battles. They're not meant to be taken, like, literally.
They are, but it is kind of funny when you watch a beam blast through all the planets in the solar system and then hit the Earth and then do it again.
Do we have a sword now? Is that guy gonna be cool?
Somebody asked, I think it was CP asked something about. If you scroll up a little bit.
We have a sword now.
Sorry, folks. But
There. What did you guys think of Rogue One?
Oh, it's good. It's a good movie. Probably won't watch it again, but actually, I probably will watch it again because of the end.
Oh, see the end. I want to watch
Just
it.
to watch that space
and then
battle,
watch
dude.
episode
Freaking
4
sweet.
immediately afterwards. I just want to
Yeah,
see like
just to
what
see
is
that.
Somebody,
like?
somebody did that. There was
Yeah, they
a
connected
video
them.
that went viral this week of
Really?
somebody who cut them together.
Is it still online?
Good question.
It wasn't seamless. Like people were saying, like, "Oh, it's a seamless transition right episode 4." It's not very seamless. Because it's very clear that they're about to go to credits here and that they just came away from the opening crawl here, but I don't feel like it works that well. Mostly,
I don't get. Darth Vader watched them.
I know.
Fly off.
It doesn't work
And
for
then
that
he
reason.
shows up, what were
and they're
you
trying to
doing?
be like, "Oh, we're just on a diplomatic mission." Like fetching just invaded this ship like
I was
10
inside
minutes
of-
ago.
Yeah, that's right here, dudes.
I watched you leave.
I know.
that
I was
place.
literally there.
The other thing too that I don't understand is they went to freaking hyperspace, and then they go to hyperspace to chase them down. And then
And they
why
both
did they
came
come
out
out
at
of
the
hyperspace
same
until they
time.
got to where their final destination was?
I know, that's so
It doesn't
funny.
make sense.
Yeah, I agree. That shot where Vader is like posing as they shut off, and his like cape is like
when he's
wisping
looking
in
out.
the wind, and he's like standing on the brink of space, and like
Yeah.
all his wind is like pushing his freaking cape around and stuff. So
Right, it's all the wind in outer space.
Hey, we're all in this together, right? The name's C.S. Ward.
I didn't like Rogue One that much.
My name is Ron Ferentz. Please call me
Again,
Ron.
I think both of these new Star Wars movies capture the spirit of Star Wars really well, and that is
Totally.
that is good enough for me to appreciate them to a certain extent. But I feel like there's just such a lack of depth in the characters that, and I feel like that was done to some degree on purpose in Rogue One, so
Yeah,
that
I
because they
could
knew they
see
were going to
that.
kill everybody off anyways.
Yeah.
But it's like at that point, for me personally, it's like, what's the point? Like, if I'm not invested in the characters, if I don't feel like they have depth, if I can't relate with them, if I don't care about their fate, then what's the point of following their story?
It's the problem the prequels
Death Star
had
plans.
was like, this kid becomes Darth Vader. So
Right.
like, unless they can make that transformation interesting, then that kills a lot of it.
Yeah, and then on that point, you say, well, the Death Star plan, it's like, I already know what happens.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
already
didn't.
know. I already know.
You did not know that happened. That dude, when I watched A New Hope, I didn't know that fetching that happened.
I knew what
there was
the
no
result
battle.
of that was.
There was no Then that's what Landon's saying about Episode 1. You know he comes Darth Vader. It's like okay, like that's
So
true.
the only
you
way
know
to
the
make
result.
that interesting,
But that's
to
a
me-
problem any prequel has, I think.
The only way to fix that, in my opinion, is to make it a really great character study. Like, how does a person go from being a good person, an innocent person, a little kid, into an evil person willing to murder and kill and that sort of thing? How does that, like, the interesting part, you know what's going to happen, but how? What makes a person become that way?
You know what I'm confused by is like in episode 1 they talk about how Anakin's too young, like to start training him to be a Jedi. He's like way too young.
Oh, I thought
Or,
he was too old.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
That he's too old and it's like dangerous to train him at this point.
what
And I feel like they lean on that too much. Like, oh, looks like they were right. He was too old to learn this crap.
Right.
But Luke is way older than that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, what is it specifically?
Well, Luke was
about
too old too,
the
right?
kid
Yoda
being-
was like, "I'm not training you."
Well,
Gotta be like
I mean,
a
that's
freaking
true.
infant.
And Obi-Wan
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
do you go evil unless you learn this crap when you're freaking like 1 year old.
well, that's where the word youngling comes in. It's a very important word in the Star Wars universe. The younglings, you gotta be trained when you're young.
What could turn a young into a youngling slayer? Cosmo, you're right. Splatoon test fire starting today.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I feel like our time, it's like 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. is when the first one's happening. We'll see how my gyro works with it, because it's been spotty for me.
Tom Sear saying, see Delita for the right way to do Vader story. I agree with that. I think the way that they handled Delita in Final Fantasy Tactics is exactly how you do that.
Also, I have to say my least favorite thing in Rogue One is that Darth Vader is in a freaking lava castle.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
dumb.
cliche, it's ridiculous.
Yep. I mean, he's already the embodiment of a Darth Lord.
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
put him in a lava castle.
Yeah. Like, what
There weren't
the
enough
heck, man?
tropes.
Who can design... Okay, I know they got, like, futuristic technology, but how do you design around, like, lava flows and crap like that?
Hmm.
Those are kind of unpredictable, right?
With the prequels adding a world-building depth and The Force Awakens starting a new adventure,
Really?
what was the purpose
Can I
of Rogue One
get in
within
there?
the series? I mean, that's kind of my question.
It's the side story concept, right? Like,
Right, it's just additional content for
Yeah,
Disney
just
to
they can make
fill
more.
out because it's interesting. Like it is interesting in my opinion. Like people want to know stuff like that. That's why they have the animated series and all the
Oh,
other
yeah, yeah.
things that they're doing, all the books and everything. And this time they just decided to make a movie.
It's Han Solo movie. It's just too much Star Wars too quick, though. I feel like the upcoming Star Wars movie is going to suffer a little bit marketing-wise because we just freaking had one. And if we'd had a year between them, it would be more exciting.
This is the three strikes you're out for me with the new Star Wars stuff, though. Like
This episode 8.
if they can't make episode 8 interesting,
What the
to
F?
me,
That thing fell on her head.
with Luke being in it, who I'm most excited to see
Yeah.
as a character and how that character's progressed over this amount of time. If they still can't capture me with characters in this movie, I'm probably done with Star Wars movies moving forward.
Yeah, Thompson. Not to mention Vader got like nearly burned to death by lava.
Yeah, why does he want to live in a volcano?
Is he like Batman? Is he like people?
Yeah, he's got to like.
He has to take
what is
away
that called?
fears
That
and, like,
psychological treatment.
exposure therapy?
Exposure, yeah. It's all about exposure, man. He's got to.
Okay.
The only thing he was still scared of.
Oh, there's a shiny thing. Rose hip.
Vader should have like a bucket of lava pouring like a lava cape off of his back, held up by like a magnetic field, so he could be like Batman.
We've got enemies.
Anakin and Luke should have put their lightsabers in the Temple of Time so they could get younger and receive proper protection.
Oh, did I die? Oh my fetch! Hold up, hold up.
Alien Brain. I liked the
Totally
end of
dead.
Rogue One as well. In terms of like the whole part where Vader's like just massacring those guys in the hallway. I thought it was a really powerful scene. But I don't feel like it makes sense when you blend it into the beginning of A New Hope because they're trying to act like they're innocent. Like
Fetch.
we're just on a diplomatic mission. Like the continuity between those scenes doesn't make sense because Vader was just there. He saw them. They were running away from him with the plans in their
Maybe I
hands,
don't need to
handing
do
it
that,
off.
actually.
Like there's no
Like probably made eye contact even. with
yeah,
specific
it's like
people.
it's like how they are trying to trick him by acting as if they're just a diplomatic, spacecraft. Nothing's going on here. Like nothing to worry about. The continuity between
Do I have
the
to
end of
select
that
him
movie
every
and the
time?
beginning of New Hope is bad. But I did like that scene where Vader is just like massacring those dudes in the hallway. It's a really cool scene.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Like he holds that one dude up and to the ceiling and then
slashes him. It's like very cool.
So cool.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Disney should learn from Square Enix. Use 10 years on one movie, have Tabata step in and complete it at the 5-year mark. I was annoyed that they assembled this team in Rogue One, and then they all go out like punks, spreading out across the map without making significant contributions. The only one that could do his job was the robot. It's true, that's the only character I even remotely cared about dying. The rest of it was like, okay, guess you're dying too. And you don't care. None of them cared about their own lives, so...
Hugh Mom, I totally agree. The Knights of the Old Republic lore is how they should have handled the prequels. I think if they wanted to make movies about like that era of Star Wars
The
lore,
tons of Jedi and
like way
go
back in the
way
day,
before the lightsabers.
Yeah.
that could be kind of cool. I think they should do that. That would make me really interested in seeing a Star Wars movie.
Helps remind Vader of the pain and that his Lincoln Park album.
Give us a little fun, huh?
Something. Also, saying every now and then I am reminded of Wild Arms when I see desert terrain. I've never played Wild Arms.
I've just watched the intro and it looks sweet.
For some reason, that always reminds me of like Trigun. Just the art and the setting. I guess.
Well, and there are like anime scenes in it. So.
Yeah.
Heon says, "Why didn't Harry Potter just summon the cup from the beginning of the maze? Wasn't that explained in the book?
Serious?
Like,
talking about, is that the fourth one?
Yeah, the fourth one.
Didn't they say like?
Well, there are rules. Yeah, it was a
can't do
competition. Yeah,
competition between the schools, right?
Because he learned how to summon his broom.
Yeah,
and that was like how he solved the whole problem with the dragon egg thing. But
is Roddick getting XP?
There was
No.
didn't they explain like you're not going to be
But
able
I'm
to do
waiting
that
to go to an inn 'cause I
on the
wanna use my
later
resurrection
trials?
elixir.
I seem to remember someone specifically saying you can't use that again, but I don't remember it. It's been too long.
Who goes there? No one's allowed in without a proper permit.
Where we have one. See?
Chalk up to this case and your guy looks a bit ill.
He was. I was just letting everyone else take care of it. He needed some rest, and now we can go rest in an inn, and I don't have to use a resurrection elixir.
Need some downtime.
Thanks.
If I really thought that we could have lost some of those battles, I would have resurrected him. But
So where's the weapon shop that Badam was talking about?
Badam, huh?
Sorry,
A great name.
Mademoiselle.
Vader just force grabbed the planes away from the guy in the hallway. See, actually, that is brings up a bigger point of the Force makes some things a little complicated.
I know,
For
'cause it's
example,
like, why didn't he
in
just-
Episode 1, they can run super fast with the Force. So why didn't Obi-Wan run really fast through all those doors that opened at the end?
Yes.
When they were fighting, he's just running normal speed.
Yep.
I don't know, man. It's kind of like the Superman problem, though. I feel like Superman
Right.
just isn't as
You gotta create
infinitely-
conflict somehow.
Yeah, because you have to come up with arbitrary stuff to like limit him.
Such as every enemy has kryptonite.
Everyone has kryptonite, or he's just too good. He doesn't go 100% on anyone, or he'd kill everybody.
He doesn't go hard.
Like Batman vs Superman, which I still haven't seen, but it's like he could punch.
I know,
Batman
that's not even.
once
That's
and
like a
freaking kill
joke.
him.
Batman vs Superman. That's the beginning to a punchline.
Asif,
how's it going?
Is asking about Fire Emblem Heroes. I haven't played Fire Emblem Heroes. Christine has played it a lot.
I've been playing it a bunch.
Any chance we could see Square Atlas games of that sort? Would be awesome to play Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics over competitively on mobile. I know that War of the Lions, the Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, is on mobile. I don't know if it has any sort of multiplayer ability or not,
nice.
but I do know that it is on mobile.
Red-nosed
Can
man.
you battle other people in Fire Emblem Heroes?
There's some kind of dueling system, and I haven't gotten into that. I've mostly just like I'll hop on for about 15 minutes at a time, maybe, and I haven't been on in like a week. They keep adding new features to the game, actually.
I don't have enough room on my phone to download it.
Dude, I know. I'm
Real
considering
quick,
deleting it
let me go
because I just installed Mario Run because that just came out, and
Oh,
now
yeah.
I'm like, crap. It's just topped out. But Mario Run runs like garbage on my phone. It's like really, really choppy frame rate. It's another game where it's like Mario's 3D in this. He doesn't need to be 3D. They could do Sprite Mario.
Yeah.
It would run way smoother.
Skill goal. Oh, yeah, they have these in Star Ocean 2 as well. This just makes me curious how the Super Nintendo version of the game went.
Superman 1, why Superman doesn't just turn back time to stop the earthquake rather than just saving Lois Lane.
He just uses it for that one girl.
That's power of love, man.
CP says, Mike, have you gone through the Kingdom Hearts interquels, Birth by Sleep? My favorite Kingdom Hearts story by far. I actually have played
some
many of them.
right? Yeah.
I've played the one that was on Game Boy Advance.
Chain of
Memories. I've played 358 over 2 days. I've played Birth by Sleep. And I played a little bit of Dream Drop Distance. and I got really fatigued by that game. I was not a fan of the tutorial section being like 1,000,000 hours long. So yeah, my favorite Kingdom Hearts game is actually 358 over 2 days.
I'd agree with that.
I would say like by a large
Chobin.
margin. I would say my favorite is 358 over 2 days, and my second favorite is Kingdom Hearts 1, just the original Kingdom Hearts. But the distance between them is pretty far. Followed by probably Kingdom Hearts 2, and then Chain of Memories and Birth by Sleep. I actually didn't really like Birth by Sleep very much.
Perfect.
And it has everything to do with story and nothing to do with the gameplay, because the gameplay was good.
Did you play Birth by Sleep 3 times with all 3 characters?
I played Aqua's story first, then I played Ventus' story. Ventus is the Roxas guy, right?
Yeah.
And then I started the third guy, and I was done pretty much really early on with that one. Just because I felt like it was, again, just like with each installment of that series, it just gets more and more complicated without answering previous questions. And it's like they're saving, I'm hoping, all of the answers for this Kingdom Hearts 3. But I'm tired of having the same question and having it not answered with every new game. It's like I bought a new game hoping to get an answer to that question. It's like they don't address that, and they introduce like 17,000 more.
Yeah, Birth by Sleep definitely did that.
And it's like I was really tired of it at that point. So that's the reason why I didn't like Birth by Sleep.
Well, withholding information is the cheapest technique in storytelling.
Yeah.
Because you're like basically telling someone, you want to know this thing, trust me, but you don't even have to know what that thing is yourself.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
exactly. Like with Lost or something. Like they didn't, at least from what I heard, they didn't know what the end was when they started making it.
Idea.
They were hoping they'd figure it out as they went.
So by the time they show anything of any substance, it's like, oh, you didn't have anything of substance to begin with, and you just led us on a freaking wild chase. And I'm hoping that doesn't turn out to be the case with Kingdom Hearts 3. If it turns out there aren't really answers to these things.
Yeah.
There never were.
Bryce, yeah, the PSP version of War of the Lions did have a co-op or multiplayer function of some kind. I'm not sure if they carried over to the mobile version that's on phones.
Did not know Dream Drop Distance was a pet sim. Dropped it.
Leather helmet, sure.
Classic RPG. Like this, stat kind of Pentagon type thing they're showing up there.
Asif says that Fire Emblem Heroes does stats-based matching and then automated battles, but no direct PvP.
They've set up tournaments in the game too, where it's like you represent a side, and then you try and win battles to get points for your side.
She needs a weapon.
Keon says Mike is a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. He's even working on a Nomura shrine for his bathroom. That was a conversation we had a few weeks ago about building a shrine to Nomura.
Sweet.
I am going to build a shrine to Nomura in my bathroom.
So we have to go all the way back now, right?
I see. If you're talking about Terra Battle, yeah, that's kind of their big moneymaker right now. But we streamed Lost Odyssey.
So CP says, Mike, you didn't finish it? That's like playing Xenogears and stopping before Disc 2. Not quite. I beat the game with 2 characters.
Yeah.
I finished it with Aqua and with Ventus, and then I started playing with Terra, and I was not feeling it. I did not enjoy the story. I knew they were not going to answer my previous questions from the older games, even though this was a prequel, and the whole thing was set up to be like, here, we're going to explain how this... But it was just creating more questions. It was not satisfying me at all.
See you, Mom.
Holy crap, Ben!
Oh, Ben
Crouch
just donated.
Donated.
Hey,
That's
man.
amazing. Thank you, Ben.
I appreciate that.
I had
Ben
no
Crouch
idea
is
how
a beast.
how this worked, but
You're
now,
the first,
now we're seeing how it works.
You're the first one, Ben. This had no idea that this was live. Gotta go get some sleep. So see you, Mom. And I think Kim Sung is heading out as well. I know it's late for you, Mom.
Ben Crouch also said he feels the same way about Dark Souls. Every new game refuses to answer questions from the past ones. That's a good point. I think that Dark Souls, I think they're doing it intentionally as well, because at least part of the philosophy of the development of those games was that, I forget the name of the director, but he used to read, like Western fantasy novels when he was a kid in Japan, and he couldn't understand them super well.
Just the visual aspect.
So he was trying to like piece them together in his mind, and that was kind of his idea behind Dark Souls, was delivering a story that gave that same kind of feeling where you're just trying to like put it all together, but you can't quite do it. And to varying degrees of enjoyment for different people. Some people really love that, and I personally am not the biggest fan of that aspect of Dark Souls. I would like something that's a little bit more comprehensible.
It's like they give you like an archaeological dig of the game, basically. They're like, here's the stuff, here's kind of the order that it happened in.
And I think
so
that's
make of it what you will.
I think that's valid. I think that's cool, but it's just like I don't personally love that as much as say like The Witcher 3. Like I just love The Witcher 3. I enjoyed it way more. I love that like way of presenting a story. It's more appealing to me personally. But I totally feel you there with Dark Souls.
So are there any ships going to Astral?
Asif, dang, what the crap? People donating like crazy.
Oh my god.
Asif, what up?
Asif,
I appreciate it.
Asif.
Grazie.
Thank you so much, man. This is crazy. This is
Asif
amazing.
and Ben. Guys, I didn't even know this like worked on YouTube.
Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat payment war.
We need more real
because
RPG
we need more.
channels. Nice.
Thank you.
Hang on. What about the job
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, huge thanks to anybody who can help us out. Keep the channel going.
CP says the game has an ending that unlocks after you finish the 3 characters that unifies the stories. Dream Drop Distance then ties the games together, albeit the most confusing way possible.
Take care of that first.
So, do you agree with that, having played Birth by Sleep, that the ending that you unlock after finishing all 3 is like completes the game?
No. It does. It completes the game in its own sphere, right? It does it in its own like kind of way. Things do make sense, but you don't like Kingdom Hearts 3 is what's going to complete the Birth by Sleep story. It's not necessarily Birth by Sleep. It does help. Getting all the cutscenes and doing everything in all of the games, it definitely helps. Helps your understanding. But I would honestly say, and people are totally going to disagree with me here, and this is hilarious, because I have a Kingdom Hearts video coming out on Monday. I'm just going to be talking. Anyways, that once you beat Birth by Sleep with like Ventus, for example, I mean you got like 90, well maybe like 80% of the story. Like you understand, as long as you know what's happening like at the end and everything. Specifically at the Keyblade Graveyard, and they're all together for that whole thing anyways.
Yeah.
I mean you've got the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
It's just the little things here and there. And the extra cutscene helps you understand maybe more of like Chain of Memories, helps you understand a little more of, honestly, 358.5 Days as well. It doesn't tell you why Vanitas looks like Sora, but, there's some things that they're going to keep secret, I guess. But I like Birth by Sleep, and I'm okay with I'm okay with not understanding Kingdom Hearts, I guess. I've come to terms with that. A lot of people may want to defend it and say, no, it's easy to understand. You just have to play all the game 1,000 times and get all the secret endings. But that's not true. You still are missing a lot, but that's by design. Nomura did not want to give you the answers you were looking for yet. He doesn't want to do that yet. And I respect that. It's his story. He's telling it in his own pace. And hopefully with Kingdom Hearts 3, we'll get to know things. I don't like it when stories like this drag on for too long, and it's been about 15 years. But
your best 15 years into
come on, exactly, exactly. But hopefully, Kingdom Hearts 3, doesn't leave us with 1,000 more questions again.
What'll happen?
That's my kind of.
They're gonna do a 15-year leap with Sora, and he's gonna have a beard.
What? We're already confused? Oh, because we didn't know where they were. We were confused.
Oh,
okay, that's fine.
Hey Ben, where do you live? Where's it snowing right now? Casey, you've still not used that skill you have? Which skill
I
is
did.
that
I
one?
used it once. he attacks like in a circle.
It's
around
kind of like
him.
a little water spout, sort of like come up on his sword as he.
It's like in
swipes
Quest 64 when you upgrade the things.
That's actually
Here. I'll
exactly
use it.
Does
right
it sound the same as in Quest 64?
No. I'll use it right
It's
now.
like that
But he'll
classic,
say
like,
it.
kung fu
Here you
punch.
I
go.
don't know
Watch.
if it'll work on those. Yeah, so that they kind of.
Yeah. I haven't found it to be all that useful yet.
I mean, you don't need to do anything other than attack.
Exactly. At the moment, I remember when Star Ocean 2 finally got to the point where I had to like really start optimizing or started like strategizing with what I was doing. Oh yeah, drink some.
Oh, Ben's from Colorado Springs.
It's snowing.
Dude,
8
we're
inches of
from
snow in Colorado Springs. And
Denver right now.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Dude, it was cold last night. It rained here last night.
Yeah.
We're in Utah, but we're from Denver, dude. We're from Littleton.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All three of us actually lived there for years.
Asif, where are you? You're saying you're working remotely right now.
Let's take it easy here.
Give us a little fun, huh?
Yeah, Tom CYR, like I said, once you beat the game once, you've got the gist of it. You don't need to play it again. If you really, really want to understand things, and if you really want, like... I mean, you won't understand it perfectly, but if you really want to immerse yourself and delve into it, you should play all three endings. But you don't... I would say you don't have to. Other people may disagree with me. But, you don't have to.
These guys serious?
What's up, Hill Thing? Good to see you here.
If you don't want to.
Asif's in New York City.
Oh, Pablo,
Pablo,
wait,
you're in the freaking
you're playing?
Splatoon.
Oh, and Tom also.
Is it happening right now?
We're speaking specifically about Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know that's part of the 2.5 remake, I think.
Yeah, 2.5.
But I mean, like Kingdom
the
Hearts
other ones you don't have to
1
beat
and 2 and 3 of 58 over 2 days and stuff like that.
Chain of Memories, yeah.
You don't need to beat those multiple times.
No. Just Birth by Sleep has the 3 storyline. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good point to mention.
Charge!
Kingdom Hearts 3 should also only have one storyline.
Oh my gosh, it is going on right now. Splatoon Global Test Fire is going on right now.
Fetch.
She's at home at
Dang.
the moment. She can get in on it.
Dude, no one can touch us anymore, man. We're invincible.
Mr. RPG Crazy says, to be honest, it's hard to follow the story of Kingdom Hearts if you're not truly invested in it.
Exactly.
I think that's my point now to make to CP up here, because he said, Mike, you should play the rest of Kingdom Hearts. I believe in you. You're smart and you can figure out the story. I'm not.
If you have the time.
I'm not worried about not comprehending it. I just don't find it appealing enough to my personal taste. I am not truly invested in its story enough to care to play it that much. It's not a story that grips me personally. That is mostly the reason. It's not that I can't understand it, it's that I don't really care to be honest.
But I'm making a video on Monday. And
Kaysen
watch it.
likes it more than me. So
I like it more than Mike.
Handling that makes more sense.
And I'm gonna do my best to understand it, because I thought playing them all and liking them and being into Kingdom Hearts in general was enough. It's not enough, and so like most people in the community would say that I still don't really know all that much, and I agree with them.
Which is insane, because how many hours do you think you've put into between playing the games and
I just
all your
played
research
one
after the
again. Gosh, I don't know, more than 100, but I don't know how to put a number on it.
Tom is
the
asking,
guy?
isn't it more likely that they'll release a 2.9 before 3? They already did. That was kind of what Fragmentary Passage was,
2.8,
right?
yeah.
Oh.
He's asking if after 2.8
There'll be
there's going to be a
another
2.9. And I freaking hope not, but I guess it's possible. If 3... Because apparently we were supposed to, and this is crazy, you guys who are into Kingdom Hearts will totally know this, but we were supposed to get some news. Nomura was supposed to tell us something about Kingdom Hearts this winter. And winter ended about 2 days ago. And we got nothing. We got 2.8. We got like some concert thing he's putting on that like the script leaked, and we know about Shion and Kyrie or something. But the fact is, we got no news about Kingdom Hearts 3 this winter, and that's bullcrap. Total bullcrap. What's he gonna do with that?
Bryce makes a good point. Says all the extra cutscenes for completing the game 100% are on YouTube.
Exactly. You can just watch
I did
them.
watch it.
Totally.
Like,
because that's what I did too. Like with Kingdom Hearts 2, I didn't 100% the game. I didn't get the great cutscene. Like, anyways, so I ended up just watching all that stuff on YouTube.
That's what I did for Birth by Sleep because I did not want to play it again.
Yeah.
Mr. RPG Crazy says Lore Runner videos have helped me a lot understanding the story of Kingdom Hearts. I haven't watched his Kingdom Hearts stuff, but I think you've watched a little bit.
I watched his
He does a
Kingdom
pretty good
Hearts.
job on his lore run.
There's a few other HMK and what's his Gamers Joint and then Game Trailers. They did some pretty good Kingdom Hearts content to help you understand. Which I'm just now going through, by the way. I'm trying to get into it. I haven't seen all of their stuff yet.
Asif says something funny here that kind of relates to the skit we did on one of our podcasts. He says, what ruined Kingdom Hearts for me was the Disney integration, to be honest. And it was weird because I like Disney movies. Maybe I just don't like peanut butter burgers. Because we were talking about pizza having all the weird
kinds of pizza.
Because Kingdom Hearts combines things that seem incompatible.
Right. Yeah.
So we did a little skit on one of our podcasts talking about like mayonnaise and
That's right.
Corn and mayonnaise
corn and mayonnaise
mayonnaise
pizza or
pizza.
something. And we were talking about, look, sometimes cheese pizza is good enough, man. Like,
that's hilarious.
PPP King says, are you going to play Dark Souls 3? I played probably like 70% of the game, and then I lost my save file when we got our new computers. I figured it would be a cloud saving function like most games on Steam.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not.
And it's not, and so I deleted it off of my other hard drive, my other computer, and lost my save file. And so I'm slowly getting the motivation back. Neo kind of helped bring it back for me to dive into Dark Souls 3 again, but...
Well, they're about to release more content for Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, and they have the two... Well, they had the one they released already, and then they have another...
The one in October, and then there's one coming up.
How do you say his name, do you think?
Sias?
I was thinking Kiss. I was like... Or Gius, if that's a G. Yeah, Sias. Sias is
gotta be Sias.
That didn't even occur to me.
Did any of us ever play any of the Lunar games? Lunar Eternal Blue is the game that made me fall in love with the JRPGs. No, man, and were those Sega Saturn?
I don't know where to go now. What time is it?
It's right now. It is
1:30.
Yeah.
CP says, to me and most of the other Kingdom Hearts fans, the series is a nostalgia piece that has many flaws and fans tend to gloss over. I agree with that.
Sure, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
I think what might have helped that for me a little bit more is if they had picked Disney movies that I had grown up with personally a bit more.
Yeah.
Like, they picked Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast.
The old ones, right?
Tarzan.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up
Peter
watching
Pan.
The Jungle Book, Peter Pan. Well, I guess they have a little bit of Peter Pan, and I actually like that.
Kingdom Hearts 2 does a little more of like they have Lion King.
Yeah,
Kingdom
I
Hearts
actually
2.
really liked Kingdom Hearts 2 for a lot of reasons. They had Tron, they had Pirates of the Caribbean, a lot of franchises that I identified with a little bit more. But the story just got crazy in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Right, exactly.
But I really like Kingdom Hearts 2. I think it's a fun game to play. I like the gameplay in Kingdom Hearts 2 more than Kingdom Hearts 1.
Rob's saying Cius, by the way.
Oh, Cius. Oh.
If they had Sword in the Stone.
That's cool too.
Like, I can't even tell you
Better than
times
Kiss.
I watched Sword in the Stone.
Yeah, Sword in the Stone.
I love Sword in the Stone.
Or like the Black Cauldron, or
if they had like
were too powerful.
The Rescuers.
Yeah, the Rescuers. Dude, Disney's made so much stuff. Or Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Which is one I hope Kingdom Hearts 3
I could see a high chance of that one.
Yeah.
Like, they picked the most famous Disney movies, which was all the Disney princesses stuff.
Exactly. Snow White and
those were not movies I identified with growing up. I didn't watch those over and over again. I watched some of the lesser-known ones a lot more. And I think if Kingdom Hearts had used those stories instead, maybe I'd feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Birth by Sleep did something interesting. I can't remember what the world is. Gosh dang, it was from like that time period though. It was like right around Emperor's New Groove. It was like 1998 or 97.
Treasure Planet?
No, what came out around that time?
Well, after Hercules.
Yeah, it was after Hercules.
Pocahontas, Hercules. Well, there's Atlantis.
Maybe I was thinking of Hercules, but that's
Hercules
in...
is pretty good.
That's in all of those. When
I
did
didn't
that come
watch
out?
that
Like
very much.
96?
That came out a little bit later. Yeah. See, like, the Disney movies I identify with were the ones I watched when I was really young. Because I didn't... Like, Hercules came out when I was 10, you know? Like...
Yeah.
Dude, I love the crap out of Hercules.
Hercules
I did too, because of
my
the
whole
Greek
art
mythology.
style,
It's
with
really
everything
good.
I drew went to Hercules
I think it's,
style.
I think it's an amazing film. But it wasn't like something that my mom would put me in front of the TV and stick a video cassette in
And
to keep
you'd
me
watch
busy.
that.
And I'd watch it every single day so that
Yeah.
she could do something else and keep me preoccupied. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I watched Sword in the Stone like probably, I'm not even joking, like 300 times because I watched it every day for a whole year almost. You know? So like
that was us with Lion King, man.
Lion King, yeah.
We watched Lion King so many
Before
times.
Lion King, it was Little
Aladdin
Mermaid.
is one that was
Aladdin.
like that for me.
Aladdin
I
was
watched a
sweet.
million times. So like the Aladdin sections of Kingdom Hearts, I identify with those.
Mhm.
Somebody was asking about our next Patreon goal. Have we discussed what that's going to
Yeah,
be?
we haven't nailed.
Do you
anything.
guys have ideas? Because one thing we're playing around with as an idea is some kind of event we can have. And, you know, I know that you guys are all over the world. But, you know, people who do live close by, having like a meetup, some kind of game tournament, or just like a time to come hang out and play games together. And we could live stream that for the people who aren't here. So all the patrons who don't live close enough to meet up with us, we could still live stream that event and maybe do a multiplayer game that everyone could play online. Or
8-player Smash.
an
an online game. That would be cool.
That's one idea, but
Yes.
we're just looking for something that will work for as many people as possible. And if you guys have any ideas for what that could be, let us know, because that'll be the 500 Patreon goal.
All right, let's see how crazy hard the enemies are here.
This might be a bit of trouble.
Keep focused, everyone.
We might want to run away.
I see you saying if you want
Oh
to
my
to
gosh!
New York City,
Oh
I
my
can
gosh!
host.
Hold up!
Are they piling up on you?
So,
whoa, those dudes were strong.
Yeah, I tried to save before going in, but it wouldn't let me. I don't remember exactly last time I saved. But it was... I think I know when it was.
Why
And
was
we've
the
got
A upside down?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I know where it was. We just have to go back and give the dude his little stuffed animal back, and then we can keep going.
Seif, man, that'd be cool if we could host an event in New York
Bryce
City.
said you're gonna die, Casey.
Yeah, thanks for telling me.
What would the goal have to be in order to cover the costs for us to have
to go to New York?
A New York City Dark Pixel
Ooh.
event.
It's a couple thousand. We have to go there. That's a few thousand alone. And then to rent a space or something that we could use.
Well, Asif was saying we could have it. He could host.
Then
I know, like, Thomas
whatever
from
the
New
cost
York
of
and-
like tickets, and then us not working for a few days.
We probably
That
have
would be
a
a
lot
pretty
of
high
whatever
goal.
that
That would have
cost
to be,
is.
A lot of our viewers probably are on the East Coast, and they could.
Oh,
maybe
I
make
saved
it.
before going into Portman. Oh.
Are you way back?
Yeah, but it's okay. I know what to do now, so it's all good. Now our girl's gonna die.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I know exactly what happened. That was close.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, CS is a beast.
LA would be cheaper for us, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of another big city that would be a
Yeah,
California.
I just wonder how many of our fans are on the East Coast versus the West.
I don't know.
Probably more on the East, I would think, but LA
There are
would
more
be
people on the
would
East
be
Coast.
easier.
I'm just saying, as a financial goal, if it's a Patreon goal,
Yeah, it would be a little lower if it was LA or something. Yeah, not too much lower though.
See, Zemens, is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
Zemens 96.
Says local events streamed to the world sounds cool. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should just have a big celebration.
$500 special.
All the local people can come hang out.
You guys can watch us eat shrimp. That's what we'll do. Gotta buy that shrimp for the party.
And then we'll do some multiplayer games or something. You know, we'll play together. Whether that's Splatoon or maybe we could even find a strategy RPG that has multiplayer elements in it or something.
We could do a Twitch plays kind of thing. So do a Dark Pixel gaming audience plays, and they have to vote on all the decisions. Oh, if we played a game with lots of branching paths, that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just do quick little polls of like which thing are we gonna respond with?
Play freaking Jackbox.
Right.
Tom says just go Penny Arcade. We have a DPG West, DPG East. Oh, we could do a food fetch thing.
Food fetch.
Oh, we could totally do food fetch.
As like as part of the meetup or whatever. Well, that maybe we'll think of that then. We'll put the details together for what we'll do.
Yeah.
For the event, and that can
we'll
be our
figure
next
out
goal.
what the goal would be. But if it's too high, we'd still want a goal that's maybe closer to like $600-700 range. You know?
I think we'll do 500 for the next goal.
500? Yeah. Oh, just for the stream get together.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the New York.
No,
thing.
that one is that.
No,
No. We're doing a
you.
local event for 500.
Cool.
I don't even know if we'll do that other one, to be honest, at all. But if we did, I was just thinking, like, how much would we have to freaking,
buy some weapons
in order to even travel and cover all that?
Mm-hmm.
Small local events depress me in New York, to be honest. It's usually small, underfunded, and it breaks my heart because I remember the good old LAN days and how cool it was back then. But I think part of the power of YouTube and online communities to help us old school geekers geek out again.
Yeah, LANs are becoming a thing of the past. Like LAN parties and stuff.
Yeah.
I already did that. I gotta find out where you buy weapons. I can't remember which place. Oh, I think it was that guy's place, so I just gave him yeah. Okay.
Tom Sear is suggesting Blood Bowl 2. That was one of the games he was talking about maybe playing with me on the private streams. It's like a football game with strategy RPG elements and permanent changes for like injuries and stuff like that. We could look into that one for sure. But I guess you can play with people online.
Ben wants sequel to Bloodborne and Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC now.
I'm actually very curious about what that DLC's going to be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
Me
to
too,
that.
yeah.
Hard mode.
Having beaten it and like getting the whole story and stuff, I'm
He
really
equipped it
curious
for
about
me.
what exactly. I mean,
oh, you're talking about the holiday one?
like what the story is going to be in that, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a guy I follow on Twitter
Actually,
who
I
is
wanna see
playing
the
Breath of the
castle.
Wild without spending any of his hero souls.
Whoa!
So he
So
has
3
he
hearts
has about
and no
he has
stamina?
about 60 of them. He hasn't spent any of them. Yeah, 3 hearts and the regular stamina wheel.
If you have no business here, I suggest you leave. Thanks. Very welcoming city. Let me go to your crashel.
So there you have it
Whoa.
for hard mode, man. Just
kinda
don't
weird.
spend your hero souls. Walk around naked everywhere. Very hard game.
That's hard mode.
Local multiplayer, RIP, all over the world. The Switch is kind of saving that a little
I
bit.
think, yeah.
We actually just
if
played.
it catches on, then
We just played Snipper Clips last weekend.
oh yeah.
So Case and a Switch, and I have a Switch, and so between the two of us, we had enough controllers for 4 people. So,
Ow.
which was pretty cool,
I just
considering
got
that we didn't buy an
jacked.
extra set of controllers at any point.
That has made me sleepy. I can feel the power flowing.
Ben Crouch. That's
that's-
a great one to start on, dude.
It's a great Zelda start on.
Honestly, any of them. They're all just phenomenal games. But this one is no exception.
Nice to see somebody who is a gamer, modern gamer, this be their first Zelda game and like it.
Yeah, it's
Instead
very
of
interesting.
people just hating on it.
Listened to an interesting podcast with a bunch of game developers on the Game Informer podcast. They were all talking about their impressions of Breath of the Wild. This was a week ago when it went up, I think. One of them, though, was Ken Levine from Bioshock. He's one of my favorite game developers. I think as a person,
he's really cool.
Yeah, he's interesting.
Yeah.
But he's got some interesting approaches, at least, to game design philosophy, and even he was just like, "This is crazy." He's like, because he's hated every Zelda game since Wind Waker. He said.
Really?
Yeah, he started them, and then just dropped them. And he said this is the first one where he's like, "Holy crap!"
We've got enemies.
It's just interesting to hear all these game developers use development terminology and stuff, talking about what they see as what's going on. And
Yeah.
And they kept emphasizing how it's like people don't understand. Like this is the first, if you're not counting the original Legend of Zelda NES, this is the first open world game Nintendo's really made. What's considered to be modern open world, and that they knocked it out of the freaking park on their first try. It's really easy to downplay that a little bit and not step back and realize like what that actually means. Like it's insane. They hadn't made 2 or 3 of these, and now they made this one. It's like this is freaking their first try, and you know it's really worth watching if you guys want to look it up on YouTube.
I definitely am interested in seeing it because the only perspective I've gotten on Breath of the Wild has been from players.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see from speaking specifically about like gameplay, like how developers see it, like people who have made games, like what they think of it. Because I think there's so much behind the scenes that goes into making things work that average people just don't really know about.
Yeah.
And so it'd be really nice to see that.
We've got enemies.
Here they come!
Miss my bucket of quarters just to get through a really hard arcade game. I remember doing that though, going and getting the tokens,
Yeah.
getting a ton of them. Chocolate Rob saying Bioshock team got a lot of inspiration from Dark City. I can totally see that. I haven't seen Dark City, but from what I know of its themes, it makes sense.
I swear, Chocolate Rob, I'm going to watch that movie soon.
That's just another friendly, subtle hint from Chocolate Rob.
I don't have to make a video for Monday if you're going to have your video on Monday.
Yeah, I believe.
Then I can watch it on Sunday.
I will.
Instead of making a video on Sunday.
Well, I'd say that's worth 10 out of 10.
I probably want to
So
record
you
it
can't
mine
get on board
today.
Switch till they fix some issues. Zelda's of interest, but not worth 300 plus tax for the console. And that's
what happens
totally
when
fine.
any console style, like when the PlayStation 4 first came out, and it's like
It's
whatever
like-
the first game you get
you-
for that console technically costs $500, but there's other,
That's true. It's yourself the best though. If you're looking at a game, you're like, I don't think I'd play it that much. Then that's totally fair.
Yeah, I'm still playing Breath of the Wild every day for I don't know, like an hour maybe.
Asif asks, what are the games you playing? I'm playing Final Fantasy Tactics right now and Nier. And then Landon's playing Persona 5.
Persona 5, and it's still in the middle of Trails in the Sky first chapter. I haven't touched it since Breath of the Wild came out, but I've been very slowly picking away at that game.
Are you still playing Final Fantasy 12?
I have not picked that game up in
Since that
well
thing
over a month.
happened in
Yeah,
the
since I just
story
got to a
and you
part
were
I didn't
this is
like, and I'm
BS.
just like my motivation's kind of leaving. I want to, but I've been so busy lately, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Like,
yeah,
I just don't have time for it like I want.
But I freaking love to. I've got like almost 60 hours in.
That's the funny thing. You could have beaten like
50
Chrono Trigger a
at
couple
least.
times over.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I like shorter games, honestly. That's
Yeah,
why I
games are
like
getting
shorter games.
pretty long
I don't
lately.
like it when games get over the 45-hour mark. It's just like it's too long for me.
I always appreciated longer games growing up because it was like, this is the one game I've saved up my money for.
Yeah.
And then I can drag it on and on for like months and months.
That is like my one major criticism with The Witcher 3, which I adore in almost every facet, is that the pacing could have been better. Like it could move a little faster, and the game is very, very long because of it.
Oh, that's an idea.
And I think a lot of people who don't like the story of The Witcher 3, that's
Alright.
I think that's the major reason why, is that it just moves very slowly in the beginning. But I have beaten the game 5 times, so I obviously was willing to put up with
Yeah.
how long the game is 5 times over because I liked it that much.
With the recent flood of unfinished games, including Mass Effect Andromeda and Final Fantasy 15's story, do you see this now common trend dying at any point, or has a trend of unfinished games?
If
My
we keep
personal
buying
theory-
unfinished games, they'll keep making them.
Yeah, well, it's that
But-
no piece of art is technically ever actually finished.
Yeah.
The problem is mismanagement. If they didn't at least get like a good baseline for the parts that they didn't polish as much as they wanted to, or whatever. Like for a bad story, there's not as much excuse because you don't have to start the project until a story's written, which can be just a very, very small group of people. So,
Somebody's gonna
you know.
get hurt real
just management issues, I think.
Yeah.
So I think there might have been games that were in a more unfinished state, before, but you just didn't know it wasn't as obvious because they weren't trying.
Gallius makes a good point that'll only happen when pre-order culture dies.
Exactly. Don't buy a game before it's finished, and they won't give you a game until it's finished.
I don't know if that's ever actually going to happen completely.
Yeah.
I was just listening to a talk.
Well, I feel like when games go digital, you won't need. There's no reason to pre-order a game
Unless they're including extra
when everything's
stuff.
digital. Right. Exactly. And that's stupid.
So I was just listening to a GDC talk with one of the lead developers for Neo, and he was saying the main reason why they did the last demo that they put out for Neo was because their pre-orders weren't as high as they were expecting them to be, and so they put it out to increase pre-order sales. And pre-orders are the video game world's version of opening night movie ticket sales, basically.
Yep.
Like it's only important because it's all downhill from there.
Yep.
And so if that's not high enough, you can usually calculate the tail with a formula, and so like they know that. I think that's the main reason why it won't go away. I don't know. Unless you make a game that's like a living thing that can sustain sales, I suppose.
Whoa!
Like pre-orders have been around since, first game I pre-ordered was Ocarina of Time. This is pre-ordered it in '98.
IAV is wondering if you can get a link to that video with
the developers.
Yeah, I'll look that up for you. I'll pull that up.
Ken Levine.
There were 3 other game developers in there. I'm trying to remember who all of them were.
They're so close.
Ben Crush says, I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, Metal Gear Solid 5, Dying Light, DLC, and Street Fighter 5. How do you like Street Fighter 5? I know it's been very, 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 very divisive for fans. I'm excited to try Horizon Zero Dawn, though. I'm going to get on that after I beat Nier.
There you go. There's the link.
Okay, just posted the link.
There you go.
These guys serious?
Yeah, and that's true. I see pre-orders being for manufacturer reasons as well.
Right. Well, that was the original.
Yeah.
You used to not get anything special for pre-ordering unless it was like a poster or something from the GameStop.
That's true.
It was just, hey, there may not be enough physical copies for you, so
Is it because
pre-order.
it's black or Link's showing up as black or something?
But when games go digital, that incentive no longer exists.
Oh, it is showing up as black. That's
Holy
so
crap.
weird. Can
Why
barely
is it
read
black?
that.
That's funny.
If it does the black back, it should be white.
Dude, that girl's fast.
Street Fighter 5 is underwhelming. Played competitively for a while, but now you can get less for more.
We could have gone easy and still won.
CP says, do you think good games are releasing at a slower rate because the devs need more time than ever?
Well, that's for
or
sure.
because of poor management that allows unfinished games to be released?
I mean, look at this, and then look at freaking Final Fantasy 15.
Just takes more effort.
It takes
more
so
people,
much longer.
And you have to manage more people, and that opens the door for more mismanagement.
Yep.
They're just more complicated, way more complicated to make now than they were before. They've gotten so big.
Oh, that's a good point, man. If you have Amazon Prime, Amazon gives you a 20% discount on pre-orders.
If you pre-order.
Yeah.
All these incentives to do something that you shouldn't do. It's unfortunate. Because the company, the corporate machine, wants you to do it, and that's how it is.
CB saying,
and they will do whatever they can to make sure you buy their product before it's done.
CP is saying, also, are we at fault for spending money on unfinished games?
Yep.
Well, yes and no. I mean, they don't present it as an unfinished
Yeah,
product.
You know, that's a good point. You didn't know
I
until
see a
you
trailer
bought it,
for
right?
it, and they give me an idea of what it's going to be like, and it's like, that sounds great, but then you get the thing, and it's like, this is not what you promised. Now, if you've been burned 4 or 5 times by a developer, and you're still buying stuff or pre-ordering when they release a trailer, then yes.
It's the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Don't get fooled again.
You can't get fooled again. Fool me once, you can't get fooled again. Alright, let's start asking around. Thank you.
Final
Oh,
Fantasy
Terry.
15
Oh, Terry.
gives you the impression of a finished game as well, and that has to be the fault of the pressure from fans, to be honest. Or unfinished, you meant. Gives you the impression of an unfinished game, and that has to be the fault of all the pressure from fans.
It's not a bad thing to put pressure or to have high expectations of a video game company. I don't think.
I mean,
don't
there's
think it's the
a
fans'
degree
fault
to
in that
which
way, you know?
Expectations can really like hurt, no matter how good something is. If the
Right.
expectations are misplaced, I think that can hurt. But you know, there is a degree to where like pressure is unnecessary. But yeah, expecting something of high quality
Right.
from a company with millions and millions and millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars is not too much to expect, I don't think. But you know, quality is relative to the person playing, I think. And overall, I think Final Fantasy 15 is a good enough game. I just don't think that it's it exceeds to the point where like the series has in the past. And you know, fans who play Final Fantasy for many, many years, they're going to take their favorite one and expect that level of quality, and that's really hard to beat. Those were some of the best games ever made. After getting burned on Mafia 3, I have been done with pre-orders, says Tom Sear.
Mafia 3 was
they
that
had that big display for that at E3.
That was like the coolest setup.
did.
Not display.
It was like a street
thing set.
What do you call a set?
Yeah.
They had like a big set. For
It was
Mafia.
huge.
It had
Their booth
it had a
was
second
big.
floor.
Yeah, it was nuts. That was probably the second most impressive set
outside of Nintendo.
Outside of Breath of the Wild for E3. Very, very well done. They felt like Disney level attractions.
Yeah. Which, I wouldn't be surprised to see that stuff in Universal Studios when Nintendo's like theme park section thing.
Shackle Rob is
finally
saying, go to the docks.
Oh, that's where I was before. Do I just go to Astral now? Is that it? Because I know how to get there. Oh, bro, you're late for your date. There you go. That's what I was doing. All right, now let's go see if their date's going to go well enough.
If we get burned, how is EA still in existence? Because people like us here who follow video game development very closely do not make up the majority of people who buy games. People like my brother, for instance, like he likes games, but he's not like way into them the way that we are. So he's not following the individual studios or like the name of the publisher that's on it. He sees a trailer for a game and he thinks it looks cool and he buys it. That's the majority of people buying.
I think so.
Call of Duty and the really enormous franchises that, you know. So there's us here who can all boycott EA games, but it would like have the smallest dent in actually affecting the sales of the game.
See ya, Asif. Thanks for hanging, man.
The waters around here.
Yeah, it's sort of like generally when you go see a movie, you weren't aware of all the drama that happened with the producers and the people that hate those producers because Harvey Weinstein did this to me on this one day. And
then the VFX industry's on strike because of such and such, and they're underpaid.
Still
And
going to see
no
all
one
the
knows
new,
that.
like Marvel, VFX heavy films.
Are you kidding me?
Because it's just not.
See you, Asif, man. Thank
Peace,
you so
Asif.
much. Really, really
You're a
appreciate
beast.
you.
100% beast. Oh, Bungie is just not what they were. And we know exactly why. Freaking anything Microsoft buys, it dies. It just does not live for very long. Like Rare, they killed Rare. They absolutely
They're getting
killed
ready to
Rare.
announce Destiny 2.
Yeah, they are.
And it looks like from what's leaked, they might be changing the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's get him. What do you say?
Ben, when is it supposed to come out?
You're right.
I believe Bungie separated themselves from Microsoft when they made Destiny, right?
Yeah, because Destiny is.
Hold it, you two. Are you serious about
Yeah, it's
this?
not exclusive to Xbox One.
Oh, that's right. They didn't buy Bungie. They just bought Halo, right?
Yeah.
They just had the rights to Halo.
Yeah.
And Bungie, you're right.
And then
That's
1,
true. You're
2,
right.
3, whatever they're called, 423 Studios.
Yeah, I can never
Oh
remember.
yeah,
Who
there's
it is that
in
makes
Halo
Halos.
now, and they made Halo 5, which people were not too impressed with. That's right.
Well, we aren't gonna let a bunch of freaks boss us around.
Yeah, a bunch of freaks.
Right, Rudd? If we
Right.
can pull this off, I think it'd be a good shortcut out of here, Ilya.
Yeah, shortcut. It's you. How else are you gonna cross
They
the
are
ocean?
so tiny. It's like the size of.
You need a boat.
It's like the size of the Chrono Trigger party on the world map in Chrono Trigger when you're walking around. These sprites like.
Yeah.
Game likes their wide angles. That's for sure.
Oh yes.
Believe me.
September. Okay, September. So we'll probably see a lot of it at E3 this year then.
Be careful.
Cave south of here, huh? I actually let's shop first, and by shopping I mean let me save.
So
Because I have no idea how
Activision
hard these
owns
things are
Bungie?
going to be. Does Activision own them? No
it's-
way,
'cause it's
because Activision
it's
makes Call of
Bungie.
Duty,
Is Activision
and
the
they own the
publisher
company that
then?
makes
Is-
Halo.
No, Destiny.
Wow, that made Halo.
Maybe Activision just publishes, and Bungie's the developer.
Huh.
Well, it is.
Well, I think it's probably time to.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock.
Can I go fight some pirates
stop
first?
it. Let's go fight some pirates first.
I just want to try to fight these pirates, see if I can't take them all out.
Oh, Nintendo.
And then we're probably done.
Ben Crouch, I am working on a
Oh,
Final
good.
Fantasy
Oh, I heard
Tactics
Treehouse was
review
going to be
right
doing
now.
Splatoon 2.
I am streaming as part of our Patreon exclusive live streams for the third Bistaga level within the Patreon. I do live streams every
Let's
day
go.
with people in that group, and I'm playing Final Fantasy Tactics right now. I should finish it this week, and I'll be reviewing that next. Then I'll be going to 11.
Oh, I thought it was going to... Okay.
11 and 12 will be after that. This looks awesome.
Yeah, this looks
Yeah,
sweet.
man.
I love their matte paintings here. So this is going to be like a whole dungeon. I thought we were going to go on a boat and just go kill some pirates, but let me just get into one fight. Then we'll be done.
We'll massacre you. Yeah.
Can't wait to have to get my hands on a pirate to kill it. There we go. Let's kill some pirates.
We've got enemies. Here they come!
If they had friendly fire.
Ooh, these
Yeah,
guys
this
are a
battle system
bit
would
more
be
powerful.
cool.
Yeah, it would.
That'd suck.
I'm like constantly slicing through my own
That's
people.
worth 10 out of 10.
What?
I couldn't say
Can you run that by me again? Antidote. Okay. Well,
Sweet
There you
game.
go.
I think we're done.
Sweet
We're
game.
done streaming
There
for
you go,
today.
boys. I like
This
it a
game's
lot.
super
Awesome.
cool.
Big fan.
Freaking love it, and I wasn't expecting this. I thought we were going to be playing more of a Super Nintendo port style, but this is a total remake in the second story style, and I freaking love that style.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this
it's
is awesome. This was super fun.
It's good
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Guys,
Yes, gracias.
Raiden, C-Pash, Caslo, Ben, Asif's gone.
Thank you,
Rob,
everybody,
all you
for your
guys.
support, for watching, and we will see you again very soon. Peace out.
Peace.
Hello.